We are live. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you've had a good Monday and you're ready to rate some comic books with us. Tonight, we are doing comic books where the theme is in the rain. So all these covers are going to have rain in them. And
that's cool, using like an environmental artistic element for a theme.
Sorry, hold 1 second. I'm hearing. There we go. All right. We are set to go. Sorry for that quick disturbance. And welcome, everybody. We've got our great panel here. And leading off, since I heard it, Melissa and Amy, how are you doing this evening?
Hey.
Oh, very well. Very well. Thank you.
Doing good. Doing good.
Wonderful. Except no substitute. We have the real Dr. VENKMAN.
There you go.
What's going on, guys?
And last but certainly not least, our Doctor of Comics, Eric Breen. How are you, sir?
I'll let you know after Donuts 5 and 6. They're little ones. They're bite sized.
5 and 6.
They're bite sized. There's those little like donut things.
Okay.
And we've got a late entrant. And hey, it's England team. How goes it?
Zoink.
Oh, hey, Marcher.
He can't hear you. Headphones are on. Oh, there.
It is warm down here. Just got back.
Yeah.
Did y'all start yet?
Yep. We just introductions.
You're just doing the introductions.
Alrighty. Who put freaking?
It's 84 degrees outside by me.
Yeah, it is. It's probably about that outside. Yeah, it's 77 degrees inside. It's 98 in here because we don't have air conditioning. They sent us the smallest, oldest air conditioner.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
we are counting the freaking days we can get out of this hellhole.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's really bad. This is not. I mean, I was considering because I was, hey, you know, I've been told start a Florida Man in Indiana. Kind of the first thing I would do is I would go off on this place. I don't think I would make a great first impression because this has been fucking horrible. But there you go. All right, let me get the sheets all set up here. Do you still want to host?
Yeah, sure. I'm all set up. I've got everything set up here to host. So once again, let me pull up the screen here, our good trusty tier maker. So as I said, tonight we are doing rain covers. And of course, if you're brand new here.
Hey, can y'all bring down the fan?
We rank these covers from 1 to 10, 1 being god-awful, all the way up to 10 being super awesome. We appreciate and want your feedback and input. So please rank the covers along with us, and we'll add up the score after each one, and we'll let you know. And, of course, if you do love this type of content and want to see more, please click that like button and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to help support the channel, super chats are always welcome. Or you can drop $1 in the Ko-Fi bin there. The address is ko-fi.com/EnglandTeam from I Love Comics. So with that, I think we are set to go. And thank you, everybody who's joined us so far. And our first cover tonight, we're going to start off with Firestorm number 9.
Can I take a really quick informal poll with everybody up here?
Sure.
Okay. March Hare says that his favorite donuts are the ones with the crumbles. Do we have a favorite kind, and how do we feel about crumble donuts?
Well, I'm not. I think I might know what he means by crumble donuts. But yeah, honestly, my favorite are curlers.
The twisted
the really light ones. I'm a chocolate. I've always been a chocolate fan.
Yeah.
So chocolate curlers are my favorite. They're really hard to get because most donut shops don't make them.
It's either curler or chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah, curlers are awesome, but they always leave a film on top.
Yeah.
No.
Can we get a start in the chat?
For me, cheese danishes and cream horns. That's the way to go. Oh, yeah, get a start.
Angel cream. Ooh.
Oh, can I before we move on though, I would like to say, okay, just a little explanation for things. One, most rain covers are brooding heroes, singular. That's it. It's like Batman does not know to get the fuck out of the rain because most of his covers, oh God, I'm so, and it's in the rain. Spider-Man and Daredevil are close seconds for this. So what I had to do is I've got a couple of these, just people standing in the rain. But one you saw in the thumbnail, it's iconic. I had to include it. Two, because they're basically the same cover where it's all negative space, but they're done in a different art style. And I thought that would be awesome. So I really did try to find a lot of different things had to happen other than the fact that it was raining. Like there's a guy dead next to Firestorm here. They're flooding. So I actually,
He's
it had to be. Yeah, there you go. Well, with his face down in the flood, yes.
There's a Comic Code Authority up there. Look.
So there absolutely had to be something else going on for most of them anyway. Also, things like what's the one we already did, like the X-Men this season with Wolverine tied up to the X. It's not here because it already showed up in something else. So I tried to avoid repeating. Anywho, that being said, there you go. I'm not going to have everything you guys love because we don't have the same brain. But I included some. These are some awesome covers. All right. Anyway.
Nice.
All right. Let's see. And based off of the way folks list lined up in my little window here, VENKMAN gets to start us off here on Firestorm number 9. So what do you think?
Oh, they kind of weird. I'm surprised his I guess the nuclear flame. So it hasn't gone out because of the rain, but
it's also a nuclear flame too. But
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so I was like, maybe the rain must fall. At this point, I've been like, this guy's kicked out of the Justice League because he's just standing there when people are running around. It's raining. Like, what is he doing?
I know, right?
But out of context, we don't know. Maybe someone he knows, loves, or maybe that guy right there was, somebody new.
You could get him out of the water.
But honestly, I love the rain. I love the wind effect. You can tell how it's where it's coming down real hard. It's blowing. Nice storm there. This is cool. I love it. The rain on his legs. His body proportions drawn well. Yeah, I guess that's some kind of rain jacket or wind jacket. Puffy sleeves. No.
Goofy sleeve version.
That was his standard. That was his normal uniform back in these days.
I'm gonna give it a 9. I like it.
A 9. All right. England team.
Oh goodness gracious! What do we got going on? Pensacola on the top. Great detail on all the buildings behind it. By the way, if you really kind of glance at a passing, the 60 cent number 9 and Comics Code Authority all look like street signs. But the thing is, there's plenty of that going along. I might have included them as street signs had I any artistic talent. But yeah, we're seeing Firestorm. He's about to fall to his knees because a friend is dead. I mean, that's what we're seeing. He's not just kind of slumped. He's falling. And I like that. It's not just a person on his knees. We're actually seeing the collapse. People running away. Obviously, it says Typhoon the Living Storm. So they're running away from the person causing this. Everybody, we got one guy looking towards Firestorm in the body. Maybe he's even saying, "Want to get his face out of the water." I even like the way that we're seeing, what is that, Giordano? But the artist wrote his name in the waves. This is an awesome. This is a 10. This is awesome.
10 from England team. All right, Melissa.
Okay. This is a very poignant image, and the water is very well. This is what I was kind of hoping to see in terms of like environments. Like so much detail put into the cityscape behind them, and the water is very well drawn. Kind of coming off of image sheets. It looks like water. It doesn't look like glue or paint. And I'm just like, that's not easy to pull off. This is extremely good. What's this hard? Yeah, I think I'll give it a 10.
A 10 from you. All right, Amy.
Well, when I was first glancing at this, I read the little box in the corner and kind of thought that was a question mark instead of an exclamation point. So where the action is was really funny to me. We don't know where the action is. I think it's a good drawing. I like the colors. The background is rendered nicely, lightly, not too heavy-handed, but very well done. If it were me and I were drawing this, if you have a fire character who's getting rained on, I really would have used a lot more steam in that, because the water.
I don't
would be
think
hitting
his
him and
head
then
actually
evaporating.
gives off heat. Because he stands near people all the time.
A little bit so you can see the steam coming off him.
Yeah. So if he's hot, I think that would be kind of interesting. Just because you see fire in a picture, fire and water coming together, you kind of want it to do something. But this is really nice. It's a good drawing, and I don't know. Maybe if it's like a lava lamp or a different kind of heat source, or maybe he's not that hot. But
Well,
anyway,
his powers are
He can transmutate.
molecular manipulation. It's not fire based.
Okay.
You
So it's like
imagine the rain?
fire?
It would be funny though. You get a cover and he's just got steam on his head because it's the rain put on.
Yep. That would be cool. But this is a great drawing. Love the colors. Poses good. Good use of the environment. And now we know where the action is. Yeah, I'll give this a 10.
All right. What was Melissa's number?
She gave a 10 as well.
All right.
Eric.
All right. I give the Steve McQueen movie an 8. The Glenn Yarborough song a 9. And I give this cover a 10. And chocolate with custard filling.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, I mean, my second go-to is basically any kind of like good chocolate cake donut, and then third is an old fashioned.
In spite of my weight, I am not a sweets fan, so all mine are less. So
yeah, so yeah, I'll admit I'm fully biased. I absolutely adore and love this run of Firestorm, and I particularly love this cover. And so this is part 2 of a two-part story. The villain's named Typhoon, had a connection to Professor Stein. He came back for revenge, and then this is him. And of course, part of his power is being able to create storms, and here he is basically creating a storm threatening to flood all of New York City, and the Firestorm has to stop.
New York City!
Yeah, so I'm a 10 as well. So, all right, let's see if we go to the chat.
Yeah, but what do you rate the cover?
Exactly.
The cover is a 10 as well. So, because again, I love, again, with the rain effects, and if you want to get into it, but I love just how well artistically Firestorm is drawn in this. It's so magnetic, just right there that I just love it. And then you've got the great city details behind it. So that's why I give it a 10. And let's see, from the chat, starting out, Eric and Boyd is giving it a 10. He says he likes this one. Let's see. Yes, Dark Admiral, you're okay. You derailed the stream, but although I'd like to hear more about your tragic and hilarious love life. Eric and Boyd's telling us how he used to make curlers in a bakery, which is cool.
Ooh.
Let's see. Jackson gives this a 9. And Ethereal Dragon, hello, gives it an 8. And Dark Admiral comes in with a 9 as well. Joe is here, and he gives it a 7. And then we've got some people talking about various ones that may and should have been included. Hello, Maranya. She says, Rain is rendered well. Great background. Tells a story. Score a rainy 10. There we go. Bjorn's comic book journey. Hey, welcome to the stream. And he comes in and gives it an 8. Then we get a 10 from Brenton Caldwell. He says he loves Firestorm's head flame reacting to the rain and wind. And more hellos there. And let's see, where am I? One slick dude. 8. Being nuclear and flaming the rain should be evaporating. Being nuclear and flaming the rain should be evaporating. Yeah,
looks like the more I look at the city, it looks like he's in downtown Georgia and it's flooding.
That was a rainy night there.
You love a rainy night. Let's see. And the rest of it. Okay, it looks like that is all the scores we have. 5, 8, 11, 15. So we got 15 there. And so what we wind up with is we've got 1 7, we've got 3 8s, we have 3 9s, and we have 8 10s. Oh, it's going to just miss out. It's going to come out to a 9.2. So the cover comes out to a 9. Let's start with. Just want to take that one down.
You know what? Because these covers I'm inspired now to make Rob review Hard Rain with me.
Review which movie?
Hard Rain, Christian Slater, Morgan Freeman.
Oh. It's not a terrible movie, but
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's fun. It is silly fun.
Yeah.
And it's got Betty, so plus.
And a young Minnie Driver.
There's another flood movie like that. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, there's one.
Hard Rain's much better. So moving on, our second cover of the night, and again, I would say another somewhat iconic one. I mean, this is from a great run. X-Men 290 and Eglantine, you get to start us off on this one.
All righty. So obviously, iconic cover. This is one of the few just somebody in the rain covers I allowed because of the fact that it's iconic, and I get to put Storm in a thumbnail. That's always a plus. That's worth an extra 50 or 60 views right there. But yes, absolutely, she is rendered wonderfully. This is just to carry the white here. I always thought does it. There's a issue of the X-Men where they're at Doom's castle and the splash with her hair wrapped around her in the rain. It's amazing. I mean, it would be sopping wet and falling, but they of course didn't draw it that way. Of course, the classic white TV uniform shaded very well. I don't know where the light source is coming from though, because it looks like it's hitting her straight on, but like one side seems to be darker than the other. That being said, this is another 10. This is awesome. Super awesome.
All right. A 10 from Eglantine. Melissa.
It's a wonderful inking. And it is kind of nice. It is nostalgic to see Storm in what I consider her definitive costume, you know, what you grew up with and all. I think I'll give it a 9.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Amy?
Oh, this is just a beautiful drawing. I love seeing Storm drawn so peacefully in her element, right? I think that's a deeply significant thing for her, and I love to see it. The light source is interesting. It looks like it has 2 light sources, a strong one that's probably just above her shoulder and kind of pointed up slightly, and then like a filler light or something that's reflecting up in the direction of the rain. It kind of gives it the impression that there's probably some lightning in the environment that could be causing some light bouncing around in sort of a curious way. And I do like the way they use a lot of the sketchy black in the background and make it look a little rough. And I really like it. I think this is a great piece. I really, really do. I'll give this a 10.
A 10 as well. All right. And Eric.
What?
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi, Eric. What is your ranking on X-Men 290?
Oh, well, thank you for asking. I guess I'll join the chorus. This is a really nice cover, so if the girls weren't here, I'd probably make some kind of off-color remark about something that was hitting your face, but I'm not going to because they're here. I'm just going to say 10.
Yeah. Well, you always have to make the decisions.
And goodbye to Eglantine.
Yeah. We'll see if he comes back. It looks like he's having some internet problems again.
Oh.
All right, up to me again. As you noted, I think it was Amy, how she's just embracing the rain and the elements. And yeah, it's one of my favorite costumes of her. So yeah, it's a 10 for me too. So VENKMAN.
Honestly, it's a nice drawing of her. I love the rain behind there. The purple is kind of cool too. It really makes her pop more. You're blocking the sign. Sit down. Can't see X-Men.
I think we know what
right?
it is.
The only thing that sucks about most of these covers is a stupid barcode that should be in the back of the book where it belongs, or the interior page. So they open up and they look inside and scan. But no.
Yeah, but do you really want the comic book shop owner there?
You know what? He can do a little bit more work. It's not going to kill him.
No, it's the fact that they're not very nice with it.
It takes it from a 10 to a 9.4. So you know.
Yeah. I'm going to do a 9.
A 9 from VENKMAN.
So
all right.
who was between me and you, LK, and what was their score?
Well, so we have 4 10s and 2 9s so far.
One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it.
So, all right, from the chat. Oh boy, this looks like it might be a popular cover because Eric and Boyd, Brenton, Ryan, Sam, and Dark Admiral all come out with 10s.
Hmm.
And then we have Joe coming in with an 8. We've got Ethereal Dragon, a trusty sidekick, and one slick dude all coming in with 10s as well. 2, 3. With one
Hello
slick
to
dude.
Crystal G.
T-shirt contest. Jackson coming in with a 10 as well. And yes, Dark Admiral, her organs are right there. Crystal G, hey, welcome. She comes in with a 10. Let's see. And I note that she says she loves that comic and used to have it. That's cool. I still do. It's in a box somewhere. Bjorn says only a 9 because the rain on her right cheek is confusing if it is rain or tears.
That's something I forgot to point out. That is actually what's going on. She's crying in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. And people saying ahoy to Trusty and what have you. Hey, Steven Spock is here. He gives it a 9. And MK also gives it a 9. And let's see.
MARANYA.
See, MARANYA, Storm in the Rain, surprisingly rendered well given the artist. She is not a Jim Lee fan. This is an atmospheric cover. Score a Storm 10. All right. And let's see. And Trusty's saying it. You know what? I thought this might be Will's Portaccio because I was looking at the signature there kind of in the lower right-hand side.
Right below her boob.
Yep. So I wasn't sure if he had inked it or if he used actually the penciler on it. But so, and that looks like all the scores we have for now. So I'll go ahead and put the stop sign up.
1, 2, 3, 4. I have 14 10s, 6 9s, and 1 8. What do you have?
I had 5 9s.
Oh, did we lose him this time? I thought I was out again.
What? No, I'm right here.
Oh,
Okay.
You cut
You
off.
said you said you had 5 and then went silent.
Well, my new setup here, maybe it's like not close enough to the mic. No, I said I had 5 9s and 1 8, so I'm not sure where that 6 9 came from because we had 2 before, and I see Bjorn's, I see Steven Spock, I see MK's.
Yeah, I might have counted 1 twice by accident. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah. All right, but that
3.
we have an 8. We've got 5 9s and we've got 14 10s. And this is a 9.7.
14 10s?
And so
Yeah.
14 10s. And so X-Men 290 is the first 10. Oops, first 10 of the night.
Yay!
Excellent.
Good.
Will not be the last. By the way, I understand that I missed. I saw the Walt Kelly Pogo thing. What I did was I looked up comic book covers in the rain, and surprisingly didn't get any people standing in the rain with comic books. But from there, I went on to list because the only other thing I could do is go down every freaking comic series that's ever existed. So I did miss a lot. I don't have your favorite on here. I'm just going to say it. I do not have your favorite comic book cover in the rain on here. So there you go. I do, however, have some interesting ones.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
And I think it's good that you don't have everybody's favorite or the ones that are most referenced, because then we basically probably have nothing but 9s and 10s all night. So
yeah, I started doing that. I want to see. I don't want to see, and a lot of your favorites are probably brooding hero in the rain, and I want to see stuff that's happening. There's there is a burglary going on behind them. They're charging through the rain, and these are just a normal kid and a normal butler, who, by the way, is ripped as fuck. And what is going on with? Is his penis just flying to the side there? But anyway,
hey, we got kids here.
yeah.
Oh.
Well, and again, talking about covers that are out of the ordinary, here is Super Richie #3. And again, this was an offshoot from Richie Rich. This was a comic book where I forget exactly how Richie Rich and Cadbury got some abilities here. But Melissa, you get to kick us off here on rating Super Richie #3.
Interesting. So he got into superheroics. That's cool. I would say it kind of has a fun kind of Hanna-Barbera feel.
Harvey.
It's of course the Rain's cartoony, but it's a cartoony book, so I think it does what it's supposed to very well. I think I'll give it an 8.
8. All right, Amy, how about you?
This is a fun cover. Look, what a neat logo. So this is Richard. So is he like the Batman kind of superpower, or did he get some other kind of ability?
He's rich.
Wow.
It's the same power as Batman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Batman's pretty darn powerful. Let's see. This is really cool. I mean, I like it. It's not because you're like, it may not be as detailed as some of the others, but I think it does a good job establishing it's kind of what it is and what's happening. I think it's at least a 9.
A 9. Okay. Eric.
So Rippy and Crashman battle Okada. Cool.
Mad Okada.
Yes, the Mad Okada. And I wasn't even going to try to pronounce his first name.
Bob.
Azuchka.
I like Bob. I'm going to set aside that I'm not a Richie Rich fan, and I'm going to give us a 9 because in my version, Cadbury's about to horribly murder Richie Rich.
You know, it's his idea, right?
Which I'm sure he's wanted to do for, since the beginning.
From Eric. To me. It's got a lot of nice elements. I like the determination on Richie there. So, yeah, you know what? I've always liked Richie Rich, so I'm giving it a 9 as well. Venkman, what say you?
In fact, there's 2 Richie Rich on the cover. Which one's the real one?
Ooh.
Yes. All right.
Which Rich is which?
Richie and Rich.
Because you'll never know if you met this young boy. Richie Rich is his name. Oh.
That's his butler. I thought it was the guy from the Avengers.
And working
Oh.
on Bridges, his game.
No, it's not. It's not John Steed. Sorry, it's Cadbury.
52
Nice.
pages, man. That's actually kind of nice.
His name's Cadbury?
Must have been a nice little book.
Yeah, this is where the eggs came from.
Oh, nice.
That's what's in his pocket right there. Those
I'm
are
messing
eggs.
with you. I don't.
The Cadbury eggs are in his pocket.
So what's your score,
I like
Venkman?
this. Yeah. I'll give it an 8. This is kind of cool.
An 8. Okay.
It's like I said, it's no different than having Looney Tunes where they all get superpowers. It's kind of weird, but it works. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Bjorn, give us $1.
What? I haven't seen one of those in forever. Thank you very much, Super Doing, for the super chat.
Make sure it's
let's see, it's just super chat. Well, thank you very much.
You got to hold up to the light, make sure it's valid.
I'll get one of those grease pins.
Third, and it's his third super chat on the live stream. So congratulations, Bjorn and England team.
Okay, I am, by the way, a Richie Rich fan. Definitely more when I was a kid than now. I just loved it. Plus the cartoon that you keep referencing. Once again, there's burglary going on in the background, which, in all honesty, looks like the guy is robbing a Dalek, or what do they call those from Doctor Who? I have no idea.
Dalek?
But it does look what?
Dalek or whatever.
Nerd. Okay, but yeah, I love the shading. I love the purple background. The water looks awesome. Once again, this is that incredibly heavy rain. I'm digging on this. I'll give it an 8.
Does it look like Florida?
On some months, yes. The only problem is our skies aren't purple when it rains. They're dark black. Sometimes gray.
Well, if it's purple, that means there's probably gonna be some lightning.
If it's raining like this, it's a black sky. You will be confused. If it's raining like this at noon, it can feel like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening. And then in 1 hour, the sun is bright and the 90-degree heat has made all of that rain turn into steam, and it is impossible to enjoy yourself outside. Welcome to Disney.
Well, that's what
right.
We're index is 105, 110 today, and it's supposed to get worse tomorrow. Ugh, humidity, hate it.
Let's see what the chat is scoring here. Ethereal Dragon comes in with a 7. And we get an 8 from Dark Admiral Marcheri. Says, I'm surprised how much I like this one. Well, cool. You might have to go search it out. Joe gives it an 8 and calls it pretty cool. Steven Spock is a 7, and Baba Boom shows up and gives it an 8. And Undead Quinn is here and gives it a 6. Hey, welcome, folks. Jackson comes in with a 7. And Crystal gives it a 6. And Brian Stam gives it an 8. Seeing a pattern. Brenton says 9. Not my kind of art style, but I'm assuming it means every element is well placed. So that is a 9. And Maranya is saying the heroes are fighting through the rain and flooding. Surprisingly well done. Captures the cartoon style. Whimsical. Sells the book. Score a Richie 10. So the first 10 for Super Richie. And One Slick Dude says an 8. It looks like a hurricane instead of a rainstorm. Well, it very well could be because it is the mad rain here.
There's a hurricane going through.
Yeah. So let's see. Eric and Boyd gives it a 7.
Hey, by the way, before you go on, thank you very much for at least trying, Bjorn. I really do appreciate it. This will be posted after we do it live. So go on back and grade the rest of them. It will count towards the videos, which, by the way, I am going to bring over here onto this channel when I actually have a handful of them. Sorry to interrupt you there, LK.
Okay, Bjorn.
6.
Wait, it's your turn to interrupt him? I thought it was my turn.
Tim's here?
Who?
What?
Let's see.
What?
And then Dark Admiral's noting that he thinks Dennis Menace could take Richie Rich in a fight.
He
Not
probably
sure.
could.
Yeah, although I don't know if they've ever done a death match.
Okay, I think you're looking at a 10-year-old boy versus a 6-year-old boy on this one.
Yeah.
Which one has more money?
Let's see. MK, so Kmart Superman and Kmart Baby Goku. LOL 9, it's funny. All right, so a 9 from MK, and it looks like that is all we have. So put a stop sign there for now. 14. Let's see there. And the scoring is as follows. Well, this one starts out with 3 6s, then we get 4 7s. We get 8 8s. We have 5 9s, and we have that lone 10.
Just noticed that the raindrops kind of look like sleet coming down at him. Those are pretty big drops.
That is a 7.9, which means it will be an 8. If I can find it. There it is. So we've got an 8, a 9, and a 10 for our first 3. Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's
And
like
let's
you guys seeing Richie Rich versus Dennis the Menace. It's like Heathcliff versus Garfield.
Oh, hey, Jose. Yes, we already did the Storm cover. But if you want to throw your score in there, please do. We'll add that into the pile. Although it's already at a 10, so you know, everybody really, really liked it.
Give it a 2. Bring it down.
Bye.
The number of votes, I don't think it would do that, but you know, you never know. So, anyways, we're on to cover number 4, and we are going to the dark and gritty streets of Sin City. And I think it's only perfect that Amy gets to start us off on Sin City.
Oh, fantastic. You know, this is really interesting the way they interpret the rain. It's such a strong and thin vertical line, and then the little splashes on it are very, very graphic. It's a very cool approach. Like, it doesn't exactly make me want to read the book, but it is a really cool artistic approach. So that's tough.
Yeah.
I know, right? Artistically, I think it's very interesting.
I mean, I think the whole book's in black and white.
Yeah.
Yes,
probably.
it is. Yeah.
Does it use more toning or a lot or varied inking up or in that?
Who's
or does
whistling?
It
I was listening to the Jeopardy theme.
Oh,
Yeah, I know
okay.
you were, Eric.
I think the thing is, what would you score it there, kids?
What would I score it? I think I'd have to give it at least a 9. That's a very cool visual approach.
Okay. A 9 for me. Eric.
Here.
Yes, and your score.
10.
Present.
Wait, what was the score?
He said
A
10.
10.
Okay. Oh, did we get a
Yeah.
score from Melissa?
Oh no, we hadn't.
I'm coming around. Melissa will be the last
Okay,
one.
okay. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything because I zonked out again.
Yeah, no. So for me, yeah, I'm gonna go a 9. RDV.
You know, every time I see this cover, it reminds me of those old detective, shows. On the door, they have the name of what who they are, and the Sin City pops out. It basically looks like it's on one of those doors. I like that. But I had no idea. I guess that's supposed to be rain. I guess. But
Yeah.
you look, it's like he's just like getting attacked by sticks.
Yep.
It looks imposing. It's I know who it is. The character it's supposed to be Marv, but like if you just look at this, have never watched the movie, never read the comic book, you're like, okay, well, there's a guy who looks kind of like Joe Fixit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
your score.
So I'll give it a 10, man. I love this. It's the noir look.
England team.
All right. Yeah, by the way, just the heads up, I mentioned that 2 covers are exactly the same. This one and the next one are the same cover, but by 2 different artists. It's the different characters and everything, but it's somebody just standing in the rain like this, walking towards you. It's amazing how 2 different artists can interpret this. However, this is absolutely a classic cover. It is something, if you ask, yeah, you don't know who this is, if you've never seen it before, blah, 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 yada, yada. Would you buy it? Well, audiences in the late 80s, early 90s said, hell yes. Excuse my language. It's an incredible cover. It's an iconic cover. The use of negative space, it's just the black and white is amazing to render what it does. It's like this cover, it doesn't tell a story as much as it tells you who this person is all in one image. This is a 10.
All right, and a 10 from England team. And Melissa, your score.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. This is well, an iconic cover. It's like one this is like one of the most recognizable and just like I just said iconic treatments of rain and like especially like would you say Frank Miller was an indie? Well, it's alternative comics.
Yeah, this was an independent comic.
Yeah. Ooh, let's see. 9 or 10. I think I'll give it a 9.
And a 9 from Melissa. All right, let's see what we get from the chat.
It would have been possible to do that with a cool character drawing too, but they didn't.
Let's see. Dark Admiral loves it. 10, 10, 10 from Dark Admiral. Eric and Boyd is also a 10 with a resounding heck yes. Jose gives it an 8. And 10 for Undead Quinn and Steve and Spock. Joe gives it an 8.
Can you pass over my pen?
Let's see. Undead Quinn notes that he thinks it is peak Frank Miller. It's certainly definitely one of his peaks. Baba Boom gives it a 9.
No.
And let's see. Jackson noting cool approach equals so unrealistic. One Slick Dude 9 for the film noir quality. It's a lead there. Let's see. And Jackson then also follows that up with an 8. And we get Brian Stam, a 9. The film noir, the rain is a bit strange enough, though. Yeah, well, that's the artistic choice there. Crystal, 8, a cool idea, but not enough to draw me to the book, though it is a great story. Brenton comes in with a 9 as well, so I'm seeing a real battle here. And Maranya says it's simple, dramatic. White and black graphics evoke the mood of the book. The trade dress red is a good contrast. Score a Miller 10. All right, Trusty comes in with the 10 as well. Let's see. After Trusty there, Ethereal Dragon comes in with an 8. And let's see. Yes, the panelists are all wet. Let's see. Green beating down. MK 9 looks grim, dark, rainy. I love it. All right, so we get the 9 there, and it looks like that's the last vote. Got a lot of people watching tonight. Thank you very much. The scoring for Sin City, we do wind up with 5 8s. We get 8 9s, and we get 9 10s. And that is actually going to average out to a 9.6. And that is our second 10 of the night. We go. Sin City is a 10.
Okay, I thought you were going to have like there's 2 Sin City covers. Then I realized I saw the other one.
Yep.
I was like, he
pretty
put 2
damn cool.
Yeah.
Yum.
Speaking of a poll, can we put Spirit on there?
Nope. We've got 2 more.
I know, but I'm saying same. Just jumping the gun here. Put
Okay.
Spirit on it. Poll.
Okay, you're voting for this. I was going to suggest we do animal covers, but if you want to go back to the noir, I'm okay with that.
Oh,
But there you go.
animals are
All right.
cool.
See what I'm talking about? These are basically the same covers, but by 2 different artists, and it's this is what you get.
Give me Noir. Give me Dick Tracy Spirit covers.
And leading off on the Spirit cover is Eric Breen. Eric.
Was that a pun at Eric? Because he's a spirit?
Well, you want to give us your reasonings?
Do I need to? Look at this.
And Joel Eisner.
I mean, this is. I like the Sin City one, but this gives you a background
This is a
I
Darwin
mean,
Cook cover. I
It's
believe, right?
it took me a second to realize
Yeah,
that that's a tire because
Yeah,
it's raining so hard. And it's I mean, I think the proportion the telephone poles are hanging, the telephone wires are hanging a little low, but I don't care. I love this.
And it's Darwin Cook. It's not Eisner.
Eisner was on created the spirit.
Yeah, he created it, but this is when DC brought it back, and Darwin Cook, rest his soul, came on board and was fantastic with it. I'll join Eric with a 10. Basically everything he says, some of the best rain effects that you'll ever find. RDV.
Dude, 10. How could he not go 10? Just walking on the street, looks kind of depressed, doesn't care, his feet are wet, and just keeps, and it's pouring.
All right, England team.
Well, yeah, looking at the background, once again, it's the brilliance of this cover. And by the way, I always recommend to the chat, don't be the first person to score. Because we'd sometimes get, oh, wow, I need to look at this cover. Take some time out while we're talking about it to really look at the covers. What you're seeing here isn't somebody who drew a building or an auto garage, which is what it looks like on the left. This is somebody who drew a cover that let the water form the buildings and form the garage, the tire, the newspaper laying on the ground. The fact that this is all cascade, the whole thing is cascading water.
Yeah.
The only thing that actually has physical form is the spirit himself. This is beyond a brilliant cover. I mean, this is just the skill, I would have to say, because this isn't just art that he's drawing here. It's also the coloring. It's the shading. Everything that had to go in to creating this cover, to making this cover look. I mean, look at the background. Look at all the detail in the background, and it's cascading water. This is an amazing cover. As sometimes Maranya would say, it's a 10 because I can't give it 1,000.
All right, 10 from England team. And Melissa.
Okay. Yes. When I first saw this, I was like, I was thinking like, this is something that like a master stage designer, I would love to see them recreate this world in 3D and you can actually walk around inside this city of like living cascades.
Mm-hmm.
The right accent, the Thai, not totally relevant, but it is a nice touch. I don't know if I've ever been more immersed in a cover, honestly. This is easy 10. One of the best covers I've ever seen, honestly.
Yeah. Well, you could always play BioShock if you want to walk around environments that are filled with water.
I love playing BioShock, by the way. And thank you very much for your comment. I'm going to gush again here. This, and I got to thank Eric. This show was created because Eric he needed something to do, and this was the simplest thing I could think of. And you just, Melissa, in your comments, you just mentioned why I love this show. You've never seen this before.
Mm-mm.
And you're freaking awed by it. And that's one of the things. It's one thing to put up the iconic covers, but I love finding stuff like this that you guys might not have seen. It's like, holy shit, that's awesome. But there you go. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's amazing.
And Amy.
Yeah, I mean, what I can't get over with this is the inking. Was that the same person who did the pencils?
I'm not sure if Darwin was inking his own stuff here or if it might have been, well, Dave Stewart's a colorist mostly. Jay Bone might have, but it's possible Cook inked his own stuff here. But
it's just such a cool piece. The colors are really minimal as it should be, but just looking at these lines, I mean, everything's defined pretty much through the vertical hatching of the water that's coming down. And there's a bunch of shapes under them that don't make sense as rain. But just the way it's brought together, I mean, I couldn't imagine just seeing like this original page. Like this was probably back when they were actually drawing stuff on paper and inking things, right?
No, this was in the 2000s.
It's pretty recent. Yeah.
This is more recent, so this might have been digital. Well, that doesn't. I don't see too many things that look like filters, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that he was still in there actually doing all this vertical hatching, because that is very cool. And just the structures and everything in it, that's just awesome. It's easily a 10.
Alrighty.
Jose, you want to learn who the spirit is? Go watch that awesome movie.
By the way, I like that movie.
I love it. I don't care what he
It's
says.
so silly. It just is. It's amazingly bad.
Doesn't have the dad for the Wonder Years in it too?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's see here. From the chat, Ethereal Dragon gives it an 8. So we get a 9 from Jose, a 10 from Vava, and Jackson. This is far better and gives it a 10. And so does Undead Quinn. And Marani, no, I do have to make quick clarification. I divided by the wrong number of votes, so it should have been a 9.2, not 9.6, which is why Sin City's a 9 and not a 10. Joe is a 9. And let's see, One Slick Dude, 9. Spirit in the Rain is always iconic in an iconic cover. And then let's see, Steven Spock gives it a 10. And we get Crystal. Oh, wow, it's a 10. The background is well balanced. Love the noir look. We get a 9 from the Dark Admiral. Then we get a 10 from Brenton Caldwell, who finds this cover
I want to
gorgeous.
see a cover that was.
Oh no!
I guess he didn't want to see it either.
He did not. Let's see. And Brian Sam gives it a 10. Also a great background. Eric and Boyd gives it a 10. Maranya, Spirit is walking through an actual city in the rain. Lots of details in the background. Evokes a somber mood and score a Spirit 10. And down, down, down. MK also scoring it a 10. Gives him Rorschach vibes. I could swear there was a Watchmen cover with him in the rain as well. Unless it was a reprint. Because the covers for the original Watchmen, I don't think there was, but and let's see. Okay, there we go. Let's see.
Hey,
what we get.
hold on, LK. What was your count? Because I dropped and I don't know where I left it.
Yeah, so I'm about to give it. So we've got 1-8.
Okay, hold on. 1-8.
We've got 4 9s.
4 9s.
And 16 10s.
You
So
can
it's a
forget all the other
7.
scores. So it's a 7.
It is an average of a 9.7. So the Spirit is
Oh,
a
by
10.
the way, I've been keeping track. Your math and my process of elimination end up in the same places. Except for Sin City. You said it was a 10 and you put it in the 9s.
Yeah, because I originally divided by the wrong number of votes. I divided by 21 instead of 22, and when you divide the total by 22, then it comes out to 9.18, aka 9.2.
Okay. I have it in the 9s as well. So once
all
again,
right.
our math, you guys make fun of my process of elimination, but they end up in the same place. So far, every one of them. So just saying.
Now, let me see. So that was Spirit number 2.
2.
Right? So that was in the, I was just kind of looking it up. So that was can't be that one. That should have been from the 2006 run here.
Trying to find the inker.
Yeah, but, okay. Well, I'll have to look for it another time here.
Oh, it's okay. I didn't mean to cause
Not
trouble.
seen it.
For with the Spirit?
Yeah, I thought it was the 2006 run because it's Darwin Cook, but the number of the issue for 2 they have here is different. So unless they went the Spirit, but they don't usually do that. So okay, well, I'll have to look for another time. I don't want to hold things up because We are on to number 6 and talked about a jarring transition. Here we go.
Cool.
Donald Duck number 35.
Put this one in for the Lester sisters.
It's adorable.
Yeah. So I get to start this one off. I mean, it's cute. Obviously, you always love to see when Donald's annoyed. You got some nice little rain. It's nice and simple. It's easy on the eyes. I'm gonna give it a 7. So VENKMAN.
Alrighty. How can you not give this a 10?
Yeah.
He thinks he's got on the rain, and as soon as he stands there, of course, his luck. He's got Parker luck. The stupid downspout pours into his boot, and that's why he's eyeing it. He's ready to smack the crap out of that pipe.
Brawley's doing its job.
All right. England team.
Once again, like you said, it's very simple. It's fun. It's a good gag. And as a matter of fact, I think at some point in time, you have been in this situation where you've got an umbrella and for some reason, every part of you is soaking wet anyway. Yeah, I just thought it was a fun cover. I'm going to give this an 8. It's a very good cover.
All right. And that brings us to Melissa.
Okay. It's a very good illustration of Donald. Like, yeah, and the drain pipe goes with his galoshes. That's some irony right there. That's what irony looks like. The rain.
It's a good thing Donald doesn't wear socks. That would be terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Wet socks are the worst.
Ugh, yuck.
I mean, if you think about it, he doesn't need the umbrella. Ducks can't get wet.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's their feathers, but maybe he does it because he's, of course, if he just wanted to keep his shirt wet, then why would he care about the galoshes?
Why wear a shirt if you're not going to wear pants?
So what would you ladies score this?
No, let's see. That's why it's like I've seen slightly better drawings of Donald, but conceptually, this is exactly what it ought to be. So,
While she thinks about it. Oh, you got it?
10.
10. Yeah, 10. It's
10.
adorable.
210.
Okay, so 10s from both Melissa and Amy. And Eric.
You know, I think I've got to join them. Yeah, it's not raining hard, but I love this cover. It's just, yeah.
All right. 10 from Eric. And let's see what we've got from the chat. And let's see. First one out of the gate is Ethereal Dragon with an 8. And Vavavoom comes in with a 9. Let's see. Brenton and Joe both come in with 8s. We get a 6 from Jose saying, it's okay. Brian and Eric and Boyd and Dark Admiral all with 8s. 1, 2, 3. With Brian noting it's hardly raining, and Eric and Boyd saying that the water filling up Donald's boots there cracks him up. Jackson gives it a 9. And Steven Spock gives it a 9 as well. And let's see. To Maranya saying a deceptively simple cover with whimsical humor. Color focuses the punchline and the joke. This sells the book. Score it a ducky 10. All right. Crystal gives it an 8. Seems like the end of a rainstorm. Yeah, it looks like that. And Undead gives it a 7. MK gives it a 9, saying also his boots are like 2 or 3 sizes too big. Yep. Well, you got to remember though, his feet are.
They're also the wrong shape.
Ducks have big
Well,
feet.
those are minor details. And one slick dude comes in with an 8 there at the buzzer. So, all right. 10. 1. It's there. And let's see, our scoring is going to be as follows. We've got a 6. We've got 2 7s. We've got 9 8s. We have 4 9s. And we have 5 10s. So that is going to add up to, oh, wow. 8.47, we're going to round that up to an 8.5. And when it's an 8.5, that means it is a 9.
Yay!
That's cheating.
So,
An
so
8-4.
Donald-
An 8-4 is an 8.
Donald will, round up from 8.47. 4 becomes a 5. It just ticks in.
Hey,
very
you give me shit about my math. I'm gonna give you shit about your math a little bit. Little revenge there.
Donald Duck's a 9. I'm happy with that.
All righty.
Donald
Well,
is
the
a
Lesters
9.
are happy. That's all that matters there.
He cracks me up.
I think I included
Cracks him up.
one more cartoon, which is my favorite. One more cartoon comic in this run. So, yeah. Like I said, these are some awesome freaking covers. I loved picking these out, but it was difficult to go which one of which. Yeah.
So we are back to the top of the order, and for his second at bat, RDV gets She-Hulk number 14.
Oh, hold on. Before you go, I think we should take a break.
Okay.
Ah, time for pull?
You know,
It's
this
time
is
for
a
the
perfect
poll,
example. Of,
and
I'll just say,
we already got a vote for the Spirit. What were you saying, RDB?
it's a perfect example of the ones you're talking about the other night. Comic book covers where they're the heroes not on the cover.
That's a neat gimmick.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys are okay with it, and thank you for the. Oh, I think I'm looking at old
Yeah,
comments flash by. No hero comic covers. Okay, well, that's 2 ideas from RDV. Eric, LK, Lester's, you have anything or?
Ooh.
Honestly, I'm thinking maybe the Spirit. I'm just kind of. Have we ever done the top 10 Spirit covers?
No, but I do have it on here already. So
Oh, great.
that is one of the options.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, we did rain. What about ice? Ice and snow.
Hmm.
how about Fire and Ice?
How about Ned?
What might be interesting?
Yeah. Yeah, but
Eric,
yeah.
or do you have anything?
I like LKs. I was going to suggest Silver Surfer.
I don't have any problem with that. Are we okay with that, guys?
Oh, sure.
Oh, I'm fine with it.
Future ideas, though, not you can jot this
Silver Age or 1990s?
Silver Age.
Okay.
Silver
Yeah.
Surfer.
You jot
Okay.
this down.
Yeah, exactly.
Covers that
Say-
take place at night.
Well, we will get there, but for right now, I think we've picked them out
I know.
pretty
That's
well.
what I said. Jot it down for future.
Yeah,
reference.
we have four. We have 4, so I'm hitting start the poll. All righty, and please, everybody, take a little bit of time to vote. Even if you haven't, even if you haven't been participating in the voting, take some time here. Tell us what you would like to listen to and watch us talk about and rank and everything. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going with this one.
No, it's VENKMAN starting.
Oh no! I'm talking about I'm voting right now myself. So, I didn't pick any of these, but by gosh, no heroes on the cover. That does sound interesting. So,
I gotta ask though, when they released the original Silver Age and I think it was probably Bronze Age, right? Copper Age, they had variants, right? For like the UK and Canada. Did they have
sometimes they were exactly the same, but it just had different language.
I was gonna say if they had ones that are kind of different covers, that'd be kind of cool too. Like doing like
When they were different was when they would publish like 2 or 3 characters' stories in a book. Generally years after the original issues had come out.
Okay.
Well,
alrighty.
Whose turn do we have here?
I am. It's my
It was
turn.
VENKMAN.
All right. Andy, this is a character that probably Zach probably really loves, and
He's
that's
a great character in this book.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan of him. Sorry. It's like having a racer head.
You have a cold heart, sir.
I know. So go, but I crew world.
Goodbye, cruel world.
Yeah, this wow, you can tell this screams 2000s. The way he's dressed.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 6.
A 6. All right.
Oh my gosh.
They are out of coffee. So it's time.
Team.
Look, excellent painted cover here. You've got, I absolutely was looking for signs of the rain when I saw this. I was like, wait, that's in the rain? Yep, you see the drips happening. This isn't a downpour like we've seen, but it's just enough to make the rain look like tears on the camera. If you look, that some of the rain looks like it's stuck to the front, like we're actually watching a movie, a video as he's walking away. Also the world is a bit warped a little bit, like the camera's tilted a touch.
Camera lens, yep.
Yeah, everything is it tells a story also, you know. I like this. I like the colors on it. I like the I like those little touches that make it look like we are observers into this world. I've turned into Breen today. I'm giving this a 10.
Actually, LK changed my score to a 5. It's very meh.
All right. So Venkman is a 5 and Englandine is a 10. What say you, Melissa?
Like I said, it's neat that this is the first cover we've seen where it does like the water on the camera effect. That's impressive. Let's see. It's a solid environment. I think I'll give it an 8.
8. Okay. And Amy?
Why does he have a television head?
That's how he speaks. He's an android.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
And-
he was an android created by the Mad Thinker, and he basically just has a face up there. And at this point in time with this one, he was actually using that chalkboard as the way he communicated.
I thought that he was showing images.
No.
No.
Okay, I
No,
remember
it's,
it wrong.
Just blank. It almost looked like just a blank
It's a giant
piece of
piece of chalk by the board. You see that?
Yeah.
It's not rock candy.
Goodbye, cruel world.
This is interesting. I like the idea that it's a robot character. That's neat, and I'm sorry that he's sad, but I hope he manages to get something sorted out and feel better. As stated, if the theme is supposed to be rain, and this is just me being a little bit stuck up as an artist, so much of what we see in here that looks good is filters and textures and warping and digital effects. Whereas when we were looking at that spirit cover, it might have been digitally inked, but it was traditionally rendered, even if it was a digital effect. That was done by somebody who kind of knew how to do this. This looks good, but what makes it look good is a bunch of cheap filters and warps and things like that. So, so not trying to be offended by that, because it is about telling a good story, which this does. I wish I knew the character more, but the colors are fine. Warm tones are nice. I mean, even the stuff I can say about the perspective, which is interesting, judging by how the characters are rendered, is probably actually pulled off by just putting a flat object through like a curved plane and then warping it, which doesn't make it a bad cover, but it does give me a hard time to rate it as highly as I would something that was drawn, by hand. I will give this a 7 or maybe an 8.
Honestly,
Well,
Amy, that makes it actually more unique for you, because I think it's better because you don't have bias. Like you don't know the character. There's obviously a lot of people here in the chat that love Awesome Andy or the Android over, so their scores will be affected by that a little bit. Yours
Yeah.
you're coming in a cover like it says She-Hulk and she's not on it, and you get who's this person, and it's like so you're an outsider coming into this, and that's really cool observation you have.
Yeah. Well,
Or viewpoint.
the cover artist here is Greg Horn, who is a longtime cover artist here, and it's interesting hearing your perspectives and judging his techniques. And honestly, I can't tell you if he actually does that, or if he is actually drawing it all himself. I mean, I just know from what I've seen, but I don't know necessarily his technique. So it's interesting. So I'll mark you down for a 7 because you've seen more on the 7 side than the 8.
So, okay, what have the I dropped out. So what have the last couple of scores been? What do we have?
Melissa gave it an 8 and Amy gave it a 7.
Okay, and I've got a 5 and a 10.
Yeah.
Okay, doke. All caught up.
And Eric, on to you.
You know, I'm kind of surprised, given that this is a Greg Horn cover, that he didn't have Andy walking towards the camera so he could put cleavage on him. Otherwise, how can you tell? I like this cover. The longer I look at it, I was kind of going back and forth between like 7, 8. But I think I'm gonna elevate it up to a 9.
There you go.
Yeah. So again, this is another one for me where I've got a little bit of a bias because I really love this run of She-Hulk. This might have been the last time I actually liked Dan Slott.
Absolutely true.
As a writer. And so this was a point in time where Jennifer was balancing actually being a lawyer again, working for a law firm that specialized in dealing with superhero clients or superpowered clients, and then also being a hero herself. And if I remember the story right, because of the Goodbye Cruel World, Ozymandias had a crush on one of the partners at the firm because Ozymandias actually was there working as a law clerk in the firm, and he had a crush on one of the either senior lawyers or partner. I can't remember if Mallory was a partner at that point or not, and she turned him down. And so then this story then kind of goes into like his origin of how he was created and how he became Ozymandias and moving on. And it's a good story. And of course you'll like to know that later on, Mallory and Ozymandias made up and got together in some future series. So I think even in the most recent series too. But yeah, I mean, part of the fun of this one too is with the sorry to go on, but the superpowered law firm had a comic book archive with an archivist. Because basically in the Marvel 616, all of the superhero stories were being cataloged by Marvel, and so essentially like the stories. And there was one story where they go down and they find a comic book to explain or to and use it in the courtroom to exonerate a client. It was great. So, all that said, too, I've always been a big Greg Horn fan, so I'm going to give this a 9. Let's see, all right. So, with my long-winded thing there, let me go to the chat. And all right, back up there. Marani's giving me credit, saying my math gives us more 10s. Maybe, I'm not sure. Ethereal Dragon, anyways, comes out with a 7 here for She-Hulk number 14. Steven Spock's noting that Spirit number 2 is actually the cover to the trade paperback.
It is, yeah.
Steven Spock is giving it 6s. Maranya is saying, poor Andy, the rain evokes his mood. Well rendered, score it an Andy 8.
I think Darren Cook inked his own thing on that cover.
Okay.
Wow.
And then Maranya is noting for a future poll, how about holiday covers? Let's see. And Jackson's excited about voting for Silver Surfer. Joe gives it a 6. And Brian says, looks more like raindrops on a camera lens and gives it a 7. Dark Admiral is not a fan and gives it a 4, as does Eric and Boyd, saying, WTF is this?
I think we are kind of happy to do some holiday covers. I think we're going to do the Halloween, probably Christmas.
Yeah. So One Slick Dude is a meh and gives it a 5. Boom gives it an 8. Jackson, I thought he got his. Oh no, he's another 4. Wow. Okay. Alpha Eagle, hey, welcome. Gives it a 7. Awesome Android looks okay, but the cover is boring. Fair enough.
Ooh, Valentine's Day Oh, the young romance.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could go back to the romance. That was a hit.
Yeah. Crystal, a 7, only because it's drawing me to the story. Plus, you can feel the sadness of it. No, that's good. That's something the cover should do. And as we said, hello, Alpha, welcome. Yeah, Eric's saying I don't want to be negative, and I know who Awesome Android is, but I just don't like it. Yeah, it's fair enough. Everybody's got their opinions. You're wrong, but everybody does have their opinion. Let's see.
We
MK
value
is
all
a
of the
5.
opinions here.
It's just bland. And what year is this cover? So this was probably, I think I just looked at it. It was probably, I think, 2006.
Yeah, I'd say 6 or 9. It just
and One Slick is saying 2007. So yeah, it was somewhere in there. And no, Mallory is not a robot. And
no, she's a woman who lies a robot.
Well, she was cold as a robot for a long time. She's very, stuck up. So let's see here. 36, 9, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21 votes again.
Oh my gosh.
And our totals, well, we've got 3 4s, we've got 3 5s, and we've got 3 6s. But we do have 5 7s, we do have 4 8s, 2 9s, and the lone 10. And so that all adds up to, wow, 6.666667. So 6.7. So poor old Awesome Andy. You guys made him cry because Awesome Andy is winding up as a 7. Poor Andy.
That's still good.
That's better than he deserves.
Character.
I was thinking. I was saying it's better than he deserves. He's more. No, I was gonna say, jot this down, for more cover ideas. You could do some Garfield or Heathcliff.
Oh, I'm always up for the cartoon stuff. I know the Lesters are. Yeah. As a matter of fact, what we'll have to do is we'll have to come up with like 4 cartoon cartoon comics.
Cows Barks, man, any of that stuff.
Maybe all different kinds of cats.
Okay, let me do the Dark Admiral's asking for a recount. Okay, so what we got here is 3 4s working on those 2 10s, knocking that out. 3 and one of the 2 9s. And then we've got 3 5s taking out that last 9 and 2 of the 4 8s. And then we've got 3 6s knocking out the other 2 8s and only 2 of the 7s, leaving only 7s left.
Wait,
so
did you count those 3 unmarked duffel bags full of 10s?
Yeah, right. I'm telling you, the math has been the exact. Except for what was it, the Sin City thing, or there was something where you rounded up. Other than that one, everything has been the same. All right.
Okay. And we are on to Casper number 68, and Englandine gets to start us off on this one.
Oh, cool. And I absolutely did put this in because I wanted to get some cartoon comics in here. And I thought this was just clever and funny as hell. I really love this cover. Simple. I mean, I like the legs poking out the side and everything. Yeah, I like I said, I'm becoming Eric here today. It's like 10 to 10 to 10. Yeah, okay.
This one is the perfect cover for you to drop off, and we can see he ghosted us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Melissa, your score for Casper here.
I like the serenity. Like, I kind of like imagining like being kind of tucked in a little mailbox, being safe from the rain, and
it probably would sound nice.
It would sound nice. It would definitely sound nice.
Well, it's like in your car in the rains. Let's listen to that.
That's good line art and good inks, and the poor postman. His hands are nice, are well drawn, and it's a very. It's a nice little tribute to the pleasantness of a sound of good rain. I think we'll give it a 9.
A 9. All right, Amy.
I think I'd give it an 8. Yeah.
An 8. Okay, Eric.
Okay, I guess everybody has 3 fingers in Casper Land.
I
Even
thought
the
maybe it was
humans?
just the ghosts.
Apparently, it's the Irish mailman too.
Well, I mean,
God.
obviously they sleep as well too, right? Ghosts.
I'm gonna 9.
A 9.
Oh,
Okay.
The legs coming out of the whatever the hell you call that thing is makes it a 9.
Mailbox?
Yeah, is there any special name for that, or is it just like a standing mailbox or whatever?
No, it's just
It's a mailbox.
It's a post office drop-off box. Usually you see them on the corners.
Yeah.
Drop off box. Thank you. That's what I was trying to drop.
Yeah, Dropbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Dropbox. I'm gonna go 9 as well, and part of it, Maranya mentioned, it's drawn to the cartoon model. I mean, this literally looks like you're watching it's a frame from Casper cartoon if you've ever seen it. So VENKMAN.
Yeah, they used to have the drop boxes everywhere, but now the only time I ever see them now is usually like the Kroger grocery store.
Well, an election's coming up. You're going to see a lot more of them.
Those are cardboard ones, though.
There's boxes being dropped off.
Right.
So your score.
Nice story. So honestly, we talk about negative space in the background, but I don't even care about that. That rain looks so individually like colored. It looks real bright. It's awesome. This is the 10. I love this. It's really cool. I'm not a huge Casper fan, but it's so well drawn.
Yeah.
If you can find a digital copy of Casper's first appearance, please let me know. I've searched high and low for one. I cannot find the first appearance of Casper or Richie Rich, which is amazing. I mean, that Richie Rich #1, first appearance, I think, is little Dot or Little Audrey #1. Can't find a digital copy of it. I've been wanting to do I've been wanting to do comic book origins of the Harvey characters. Can't find the first appearances.
Interesting. So let's see. Kicking off, Jose gives it another 6. And Ethereal Dragon comes out with a 7. And some people voting for Heathcliff. I'll tell you, I don't think Garfield's going to be much of anything, because I don't think there's ever been any Garfield floppies. I just remember the daily strips and buying the Garfield books back in the day, and the covers were not much of anything. Steven Spot gives it a 9.
There actually are some Garfield comic books. They're more modern.
One select dude 10 for Richie Rich's Coast in a Mailbox. Yes, the long-running story of whether or not Casper is actually Richie Rich dead. Joe is an 8. Dark Admiral is a 9. And Ronnie says, drawn to the cartoon model, deceptively simple rendering, color, bright and cheerful, which sells the book. Score it a Casper 10 or a spooky 10. Crystal G is also a 10, says it's funny and cute. Baba Boom is a 9. Jackson, Casper stealing Social Security checks, it's a 7. Well, I'm not sure he needs the money. Brian says he doesn't like Casper. It's a great cartoon cover and gives it a 9. Alpha Eagle, though, is a 5, says Met is the perfect word for it. And let's see, Eric Hawkins, hey, welcome. When it comes to ghosts, I'm more partial to Spencer Spook, gives it a 5. I'm not sure I've ever heard of Spencer Spook before, and I'm not sure if I want to know. Undead Quinn and Britain both give it 9s. And let's see, Mariah's noting 3 fingers and a thumb is basic animation style for hands. It operates on the principle of either index and middle finger or middle and ring finger working together. And MK, he gives it a 10 because his mom loved Casper. So there we go. All right. Good way to end off looking at Casper here. And let's see, we got 10, 15, 17, 19, 20.
The Casper book to get rid of Engleton.
Yeah, apparently he dropped again. So let's see here. Right here, we've got 2 5s. We've got a 6. We've got 2 7s. We've got 2 8s. We have 9 9s, and we've got 6 10s. And that's going to average out, wow, to a straight 8.5. So Casper, by the skin of his teeth,
Which he has neither of.
yeah, makes it into the 9s, and he'll just get ahead of Donald Duck there, I think.
People have skin on their teeth? That's creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be surprised what's actually on your teeth. So there we go. We've got 2 10s so far, 4 9s, an 8, and a 7 as we've gone through. So, and good night, Brenton. Again, too, like we said before, if you get a chance, certainly watch the rest of the video later on. Go ahead and put your scores into the comments, and those will get added into the score in the future.
Oh, I got to ask you the count there, sir.
Yeah, 2 5s, 1 6, 2 7s, 2 8s, 9 9s, and 6 10s.
And a
And it
partridge
came out-
in a pear tree.
And it came out to an 8.5 average.
3, 5, 6 taking out those 10s, and then 1 taking out one of those 9s. It ends up in a 9. Did you put it in the 9s?
Yep.
There, I'm telling you, it ends up in the same place. That's awesome. All righty.
All right, we are on to Creeper from DC Comics, issue number 5. And Melissa, you get to kick us off on the Creeper.
Okay. Wow. I remember him. That's that's a scary looking adventure right there. I like the that kind of pixelated the water flow. There's the water coming in out of the grate. Like this is a dangerous situation, all right.
Did I
I think
lose
I'd give it a
you
9.
guys?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I think she said she'll give it a 9.
Yeah.
And 9 for Melissa.
And
Okay, I think I just heard an and Amy, so I'm not gonna go. Now Creeper is he the one with the green hair?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the one that's tied to the grate on the right.
Well, okay. So he's in a bit of a dire situation here, but he's gonna get out because it's his book. So,
Spoilers.
who's this guy? He's Prometheus? Is he like a shapeshifter? Does he have water powers? Well, I guess you want to read the book and find out. What I really do love about this, and I think this is different from how we've seen rain interpreted so far, it's like, well, because of the shape of the environment, the way that it's cascading, but also the way that it's pouring over and that it's making kind of this wave shape. It has this really interesting rhythm that kind of guides and focuses the eye sort of where the focus of sort of the movement and the conflict is. So I really like this as an artistic piece. This is just interesting. And I do like the use of color. The bright yellow is kind of like repeating what's in the lightning. And I think that's kind of cool. And I'm not sure who this character is in white, but he does kind of keep the idea of kind of the solemnness of the dark sky and the environment and the water itself. So, and all that against the black and simple graphic silhouettes with strong lines and strong, like, dark shadows kind of cast onto them. I think this is really, really interesting, especially for something in kind of a primitive way. Yeah, this is a really cool piece, and I really like the lettering for it too. It's just awesome. I'm going to give this a 10.
A 10 from Amy. All right, Eric.
You know, the one thing that's always weirded me out about this cover is it's like your Proteus. It was like I can't feel my face.
That is a problem.
It's look at me, Creeper.
You go for like scratching his chin, but didn't quite
Yeah,
get it right.
He's supposed to be studying him, his face and stuff.
I know it just looks weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't get that. If it's supposed to be a stroking your chin thing,
He's
they
like-
need to work on that hand pose a little.
He's like, not much, but I can work with it.
Back to Eric.
You know, I think I'm gonna go 9.
Yeah. Well, I took a look at it. It's very good, and so I'm going to give it an 8. VENKMAN.
Yeah, the only problem is you have a draw a white character, he's all white, and then you put his hand on his chin, it becomes his chin.
Mhm.
He looks more like a putty monster now.
What is he
but-
supposed to be?
But I do love the dire situation. I love it's raining. The storm drain they're in is filling up. He's got the creeper tied to the gate. So basically, I don't know what he's thinking. He's like, should I let him drown here or should I just copy his appearance, and then leave, But obviously, I like the title font. Where the beware, it's like beware, and then creeper is really large. This is cool. I like this. This is a 10.
A 10 from you. All right. And England team.
When I saw this, I was like, yes, I've got to include this. I knew it would be a cover you guys haven't seen before, or most of you haven't seen before, and it's just dynamic as hell. But as this show goes, if you continue to look, maybe you see some problems. Yeah, the hand on the face is one of them. But that is, in my opinion, a nit to pick. This is an excellent cover. I love the danger that the creeper is in. Look at me, creeper. Look at the true face of Proteus and then die. That's not intrusive. I mean, you got words directly in the middle of the action, and it looks like it could be a sign on the wall behind them.
That's cool. Yeah.
The lightning above. It's I guess the lighting is coming in from where? I don't know, but otherwise, because you've got a shadow going one way, or it looks like it's another grate on the side and on the top. I guess that's where they're getting. It's just a cool cover. Sometimes you just gotta look at it and go, "That's cool." I'm gonna give it a 9.
I love the water. That's just such a cool effect.
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat says. All right. Let's see. Dark Admiral's noting once again to please brave the rain and haunt that like button. Yeah, please hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Euro Dragon comes in with a 7. And we've got Jose coming in with a 9, saying this is good. Finally found something that Jose really likes. Boom at 9, and Steven Spock at 8. Brian Stan says it's colorful, but there's not much rain, and so he's going to give it a 7. Our Admiral gives it an 8. And let's see, MK is here 10. Cool cover. I like the lightning in the background. The rain pouring down the sewer looks cool. All right. And Jackson and Crystal both come in with 7s. And Joe gives it a 5. Again, meh for him. One Slick Dude is an 8. Maranya, very atmospheric cover. Water rendered by scraping the solid ink with a blade to reveal the white paper. Focus with color on Creeper. Sells the book and scores it a Creeper 10.
Oh, that would have to take some nerve.
Gives it an 8 and says it's looking great. Steven Spock is noting he believes this is a Steve Ditko cover.
Cool.
And let's see, people saying nobody can impersonate Eric Breen. I agree. Nobody can impersonate Eric Breen.
Wait, how can they be a Ditko cover? No one has a giraffe neck.
Yeah. And Brian, hey, thanks for being here. Have a good night. Once again, too, if you get a chance, watch the rest of it later on and put your numbers in the comments. And we will go ahead and throw that stop sign up. 10, 14, 18, 19 votes that time. So let's see. A couple folks dropping off there. And we have 1 5. We've got 4 7s, 5 8s, 5 9s, and 4 10s.
Oh, by the way, I'm not a big fan of people saying, "Hey, this one's better, that one's better," because guys, I try, I do my best, but Steven Spock is absolutely right. Number 6 would have been better. Just saying. Sorry.
Number 6.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. It's
Creeper-
basically it's the follow up to this, and the thing is filled up to his chest. I don't know how, since there was 2 exits for the water, but it still looks cool.
In this case, this creeper comes out to an 8.3, so it lands solidly in the 8s. All right, moving on. We've got an amazing Spider-Man cover. It looks like it's 678.
678.
And Eric Breen. I'm sorry, no, Amy gets a first crack at Amazing Spider-Man here. What do you think?
It says
New York.
Daily Bugle. New York destroyed, and there's a Spider-Man's hand. Okay. Ooh. It's
Do you have no words for this? Okay, so what you're looking at is the obviously Spider-Man has been in an incredible struggle to the point where he can barely stand. He tries to get his bearings as he crawls up, and it's a box that's selling the Daily Bugle, and the Daily Bugle's headline is New York destroyed. You actually get the city skyline that, if you look, it's the city skyline that's making the words New York. And so you see that Spider-Man has been absolutely put through the ringer, and the headline is telling you why. He has been doing his best to save the city, and it's to the point where he can barely stand. Also, the fact that there's an apple core leaning up against it and nobody's noticed, just got to point that out. So, yeah, there you go. Just giving you a heads up of what's actually happening on the cover.
What's here? What it is I'm looking at. Let me get this up to where I can actually see it. Oh, okay. Oh, that's better. I've been having this tablet I've been looking at. Melissa had it, so I've just been staring at this fuzzy monitor, and it's not great. But this does have a lot more interesting detail in it.
Oh yeah, I disagree with Alpha Eagle. He's saying it's interesting, but not much going on. I'm telling you, you're wrong on this one, because just in that simple image, it tells the entire story. There's a lot going on this one. That's one of the reasons I say, guys, take a look. Really study the cover. Look at them.
Also, Amy, if your monitor is fuzzy, wipe it off.
Well, it's complicated, but I've got a better look at it now. When I first look at it, what I'm looking at is how it's painted. And there are a lot of techniques in here that are kind of cringy to me, and a little heavy-handed, and I don't consider it to be a particularly well done illustration. It's flat, its dimensions are off, it's over blended. I don't really think the coloring works. There's a lot of things on here that, from an artistic standpoint, I'm kind of like, this isn't awesome. So I'm trying to erase the digital coloring approach from what the illustration is. The coolest thing about this is, like you mentioned, where it says New York destroyed, the skyline in the font. That is actually gorgeous. I love that. So it's a little bit shocking that you've got such great detail in the font that you could totally miss, but then kind of the effect of the water itself, his hands, the way it's colored, some of the, I'm going to get there, but the way
One Slick is pointing out that there's no splashing on the top of the box.
Slashing on the top of the box?
Splashing.
Oh,
like
splashing. Yeah, that's true.
The rain hit the box.
Yep. There's a slight tear effect on one corner, but yeah, the rain's coming kind of straight down. It's the way it's painted would try to make you think like they're trying to do something like a classical, but the lighting isn't strong enough to make it look like romantic or something like that. But
So what would you score this?
Rain's too graphic, and it just doesn't blend with the overall style of the paint. And I like, the best thing about this is the apple core and the cityscape in the New York font. But I can't say it's bad. It's at least a 7. I would love to have seen the elements of this come together in a stronger way. But if I'm
Okay.
judging it on the rain, I feel like that's kind of a little phoned in. Man,
All right.
I'd love to have seen this come together in a better way.
Well, no, 7's good. Eric.
All right. First of all, enjoy the cover because given the first two names there, it's going to be the highlight of the book.
Oh no!
Unless you like clown feet, in which case then you'll.
Roberto Ramos. Yeah.
Cartoonish inside.
What's that?
I said it's going to be cartoonish inside.
Yeah. This is probably a time where I'm glad I don't have the knowledge that she who spaketh before me does.
Sorry.
No, that's that. No, I said that's I couldn't string that much intelligence together if I was reading from a book.
Thank you for your generosity.
But I'm gonna give this a 9.
All right. You know what? I'm going to join Amy in the 7. It's good, but especially with some of the others, it feels like that Del Mundo was trying to take inspiration from some of those spirit covers and things like that, and yeah, it just doesn't quite all pull it off. VENKMAN.
Yeah, I've been looking at this cover while you guys are talking about it, and I'm like, something just is off about it. Everybody keeps bringing up the rain and how it kind of just really washes out the background stuff. What's really cool, the way I'd actually upgrade this, and is instead of saying New York destroyed, say like historic flood, lizard on the loose.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking up on the storyline is that Spidey learns like into the future New York is destroyed, and so he's got like
but I
mean
though, if they had it says the lizard on the loose and he's in the rain, it's flooding like that, and he's already been battling, that would be a really cool thing because it makes me think of Crawl.
Yeah, but that's not here. So what would you score this?
I'm gonna give this an 8. The apple core is just weirdly placed there. If you're gonna have junk floating, have it floating in the water behind the sign.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
Or have a mouse up there.
So
Ooh,
team missed a 7 from me, a 9 from Eric, and an 8 from VENKMAN.
7, a 9. It was a 7, a 9, and what?
An 8.
7, 8, and 9. Okay, and so we're missing 3.
So it's your 2. Well, so we've got 2 7s, an 8, and a 9 because Amy scored it a 7.
2 7s, an 8, and a 9. Okay.
Yep, and it's your turn.
One thing I noticed is also the box is broken, like the glass is shattered. That's a detail I particularly like because if you look at the D and the E and the S, the coloring is different. You can in the top of the Daily Bugle. There's a lot of good detail to this. Amy did point out a lot of, and One Slick pointed out a lot of the weaker effects as well. I think this is a pretty good cover, but the flaws are there. Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8. I like it, but yeah, it's not the best.
Teen and Melissa.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh my gosh!
What's
Oh, I was just chat. Oh, there he is. Oh, I found one Doom Rabbit. Oh,
Rabbit?
hey Rabbit. Sorry guys, we called down the rabbit. Anyway,
I'm giving it. I think I'll give it an 8.
All right. Let's see what the chat says here. And let's see, we get a pair of 7s from Jose and Dark Admiral. And we get an 8 from Valavoon. And let's see. Yep, as the frog's noting, if you do want to help out the channel, definitely smash that like button. You leave a comment at the stream or donate to the Ko-Fi. The link is there. Joe says a 6. Rain looks great, but it's otherwise meh. So one step up from Meth there. Alpha Eagle 8, interesting but not much going on. And Ethereal Dragon also gives it an 8. And let's see. MK. Oh no, Daily News is destroyed. What a shame. Oh wait, that's the Daily Bugle. I wonder, is it a liberal paper or conservative since it's New York? He'll give it an 8. Well, I think Jonah always kind of leaned more towards the liberal side, but whatever. Maranya, dramatic cover, world's worst superhero. Really, Rain evokes the disconsolate mood. Score a Spidey 10. All right, first 10 that this cover gets. Steve and Spock and One Slick Dude both give it 8s, with One Slick saying it would have been better if they had some splashes on top. Jackson gives it a 6. And James Wolfe is here, and he's noting, hey, it looks awful. Crystal G gives it a 7. The heavy rain takes away from the details. She does like the concept, but the colors seem off. And let's see. Jackson's noting, with everything, despite everything that Amy pointed out, she still gave it a 7. Well, good and bad, and it balances out. While James is saying all the bad doesn't balance out the good, and gives it a 3.
He is a brilliant painter.
As sensitive as Amy is, James would be that much more so.
Okay. I was wondering if you actually know this person, just someone targeting you.
No, we do art shows like every week, so we're doing all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah, I know.
It's like
he's fantastic.
Well,
do me a favor. Mention this. I seriously, if you
like I said, the reason I ask is because this is the internet, and sometimes we get people that pop in the chat here that are disgruntled.
We haven't had that so often.
No, it's been nice.
Oh yeah.
So with the wrap up of the scores there, we've got a 3, we've got 2 6s, we've got 5 7s, we've got 9 8s, and we've got a 9, and we've got a 10. And so this is going to average out to a 7.4, and so Spidey is hitting the 7s.
So yeah, Ryan pointed out, said JJJ must have written the trade dress.
Oh, the world's worst superhero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We are moving on, and this is the 11th cover of the night, and that is going to be Metalman number 32.
Wow.
Metalman number 32. Another somber cover.
I was going to say, how many of these are actually funeral covers? Look at the rain.
It is kind of funny. We had a little memorial. One of my best friends lost his blessed little kitty cat, and so we were just having a little memorial. And you would know it would rain, so we just went over and was like saying our goodbyes. And you're like, and it was raining, and I'm like, oh no, this is like about as sad as it could get. But yeah, it's a lot of that. It always seems to rain on those occasions.
Did Eric step away?
Oh, I didn't know I was leading off.
Sorry. Yeah. No, Eric, you're leading off.
Okay. Now batting. I've always liked this cover. It's, I don't know. It's just kind of, the Metal Men were human at the time of this book too. So that's probably what they're memorying of them as their old robot forms. I love the big, RIP. So I'm giving this a 10.
I don't have feelings one or the other to the cover. I've not read the story, so just based on what I see here, it's nice, not great. There's some interesting water details. I'm going to give it a 7. Venkman.
Just glad it's on a D at the end of that RIP. Oof. Now I have no personal connection to the Metal Men. They popped up in the World's Finest recently last year, Mark Waid's book. Other than that, maybe they popped up more in the the Goyer run of JSA. Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I always thought they were like a Silver Age team. So, but the color though is it's either in a figure. It's kind of creepy, eerie. You got the gravestones around them, and then you got the giant kind of like gravestones here. But then it's like, oh, it's so serious. And then you see the giant nose on Tin and Mercury. It just takes away from the seriousness.
Yeah.
But I do. If you could just cut off that bottom part to stay at the top part of there, here lie the Metalmen. Oh, that is such a fantastic cover. But because it has that thing in the front there, I gotta break it down to an 8.
An 8 from VENKMAN. Okay, England team.
One of my favorite covers of the Silver Age. I love this, the somberness. I do believe you mentioned that they turned human. Is that the metal men watching or looking over their own grave? Yeah. The rain is very subtle. It almost looks like scratches going down the cover.
Look at the trees, though.
The empty trees, the other gravestones. I do kind of agree with Eric, not Eric, RDV about the Mercury and Tin, but that doesn't bother me as much. I do like the water cascading down the tombstone as well. This is a very solid 10 in my opinion.
All right, 10 from England team. Melissa, what's your score?
Oh my goodness. It's a very, very somber environment. The rain is impressive. How it feels like scratches. The lines are very straight.
Yeah, it's more perceived. It's not heavy-handed at all.
But there's no mistaking that it's raining. Well, they're gonna. It's very poignant. The trees and the gravestones are beautifully rendered. Just go into the awesomes.
Can I ramble? What do you think?
Sure, go ahead and ramble. Thank you, Amy.
I love this. It's just a piece of graphic art. The composition, the metal men with the simple white dots on the side of it, the tall, thin red text kind of connecting the two elements. It's interesting because it's not literally rendered, and I love that about it. And the text kind of all ties those ideas together. I do know these characters enough to know, yeah, that's Tin and Mercury. That's what they look like. This was one of my best friend's favorite comics. Was this series? It was like his grandma had it when he was growing up, so it was something that he was always into. So I spent a lot of time going over these books with him. So I know these characters. I haven't seen this issue, but this is gorgeous, and I love the texture of the sky in the background with the trees and just the way the rain kind of scratches across it. And it makes it look weathered and sad, but there's all this warm light, and it looks oddly hopeful where these people are gathered. And it's just a beautiful piece. I love the way it comes together. The yellows, the browns, that sort of coppery blue color, the thin red. I love this. This is a 10.
A 10 from Amy.
I think you persuaded me. I'm going to give it a 10 too.
All right, Melissa. All right.
Yeah,
let's see what we've got here in the chat. So Jose, 8 with a question mark. Okay. I wasn't sure, but he'll get marked down for an 8. Let's see. Ethereal's not sure how he feels about it right now. Dark Admiral gives it a 7. And let's see. James is saying it's a bit 2000 AD, but not quite. Boom gives it a 9, and we get an 8 from Joe. One Slick Dude, a 10. This is a classic Metalman cover. Rest in peace. It is a cool cover. So a 10 from One Slick Dude. Alpha Eagle, 7. He thinks it was kind of cool. Jackson gives it a 10. Steven Spock and Crystal G are both 7s. And then we get to Maranya, and she says it's a very somber cover with rain striking the tombstones, heroes in bas relief, mourners in the background, muted colors appropriate for rainy days. Score it in RIP 10. All right. And let's see. MK's noting rain matches the mood of the funerals, but I've been to some good ones too. Anyhow, Raid says a 10. Looks depressing as heck. Nice memorial. Huge RIP is cool. And also RIP to Sid Vicious. Yep. RIP to Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, one of the fun wrestlers back in the day.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Ethereal Dragon and Eric Hawkins both come in with 6s. And Eric notes bad perspective in the foreground, but he likes the rest of it.
Graphic art, the way it's brought together, than literal. I get that.
And James Wolfe is saying, it's okay-ish, and gives it a 5. And Ethereal Dragon is which is a Cartoon Network didn't screw over Beware the Batman. Well, Cartoon Network screwed over a lot of things, so that's why they're where they're at. Let's see. This is anything else? And okay, we did get a score from Ethereal. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and put the stop sign up there for now. And let's see. We got 5, 8, 11, 12, 20. And the score is as follows. Breakdown, we've got a 5, we've got 2 6s, we've got 5 7s, we've got 3 8s, we've got a 9, and we've got 8 10s. And that is going to be an 8.3. So Metalman falls into the 8. And so that will join Creeper and Richie Rich. They're in the 8. So pretty good distribution so far. Move this on to number 12. And this is a book called Rain number 5. It's an image book, I see. I get to start this off. And this is an interesting cover. You kind of have rain, but it's also kind of slicing it in half. Sorry, I forgot to put the start sign up there. Honestly, it's not doing it for me. And plus, God, Thorogood's on this stuff. I can see it's artistic, but I just don't like it. I'm giving it a 6.
Wow.
Venkman.
Alrighty. Never even heard of this book before either. Is this within like the last couple of years?
Well, it's a Joe Hill. Joe Hill is Stephen King's son. I don't know when this was made. It's 30th anniversary of Image, so I would assume
it's
it was
$3.99.
2020.
Yeah.
It was 2020 around there, 2021. It's a book called Rain, and the rain is absolutely warping the image of the girl, and you see it. It's almost like there's 3 versions of her going on right here, and some of the rain is actually blood-stained. So, and so is she, giving a little bit of story to what you're looking at.
And your score?
Yeah. I mean, it just reminds me of so many other nondescript image and IDW books in the 2000s. So
yeah, I don't know if you could call this nondescript. I mean, it's a very specific style.
It's a style. Whatever. Venkman, what's your score?
I can speak now.
Yeah, go on ahead. It's your turn.
Two old guys arguing in the balcony over things.
You'll be there soon.
I like this, dude. I'll be there soon. Well, at least I don't hear you anymore.
Yeah. England team?
I give it a 5. I'm just kidding. I like this cover. I like the warp. After all that argument, I give it a 5. No, I'll give it an 8.
It looks like she's deteriorating almost. Like
did I miss anybody? Did RDV lead this off?
No, I led off. I gave it a 6. RDV gave it a 10. You gave it an 8.
Okay.
Melissa.
It's. I think the different reflections of her soul kind of like go through, kind of through the mirror shards is kind of impressive. The face seems pretty well constructed.
The colors are nice. I mean, the clouds are nicely enough painted in the background with bright white highlights and cool blue and purple kind of like shadows on them. The skin tone is nice. I like her pink ears. That's a kind of a good detail. Oh, sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. Gave time for Melissa to think what
Yeah.
what wins the score.
I think I'll give it a 7.
A 7. Okay.
How about you,
I
Amy?
think technically it's skillfully drafted, and some of it didn't sing to me personally, and it's kind of disturbing. But I know that sometimes art can be disturbing and still be good. It's well constructed technically, so I didn't want to deny that.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Amy.
Yeah, I think I would give it a 7. It's certainly not bad. Yeah.
All right, and Eric.
I didn't realize that she was part of this book. Okay, because it's not called Zoe Thorogood Presents Rain.
So you're pointing out in the chat, like, oh, there's no rain on the cover. I'm like, there rains when you guys complain about the cover.
Yeah.
It's what you're seeing is the water down a window.
I know.
Yeah, that's what's going on, and that's why it's warping the image.
I guess some people just can't. They don't see it that way.
Oh, okay.
VENKMAN, you know what that is going down the window? Rain!
Rain!
Yeah, and your score, Eric?
I'm going to go 9. Why not?
See what we have here in the chat. So Jose starts out and joins me in giving it a 6. And let's see, James Wolf saying too much chin gives it a 4. And that starts a cascade of 4s with Dark Admiral, Steven Spock, and Ethereal Dragon.
This reminded me of be a better call. If you can still call it rain, I would call it fractured. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Joe gives it a 6. Baba Boom gives it a 5. Jackson gives it a 3. And Crystal G gives it a 4. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. One Slick Dude gives it a 6. Notes that the Ben Harvey variant is much better than this one.
Are we going to have to do this on DNQ one week, guys?
Yeah, and James is stating there it's unanimous. It's a 4. But Alpha Eagle says it's an 8. Likes the creepiness of it. Let's see. Eric Hawkins is saying interesting cover, but nothing that stands out that you can pick up off the shelf, and a 5. Yep, that's kind of where I was.
So the best way to describe this cover is Zoe Thorogood's having a meltdown.
Yeah, and Bad Comic Reviews. Hey, BCR, you're here. Gives it a 5, and Daniel comes in and gives it a 3. And some people, not liking the rain effects that that the book had. Let's see. Jackson noting that Melissa and Amy are just too nice. Let's see. Ryan is saying this gives the effect of the image being broken up by rain on a window, symbolic rain with blood along with the water. Good digital art technique, and scores at a 10. So that is the second 10 that this book gets. And let's see. Oh, Ethereal is dropping it to a 3. Let's see. What was his? He originally scored it a 4. Okay. So I got to take that. Make me scratch all this out. Ethereal. 1, 2, 3, 4 there. And so now we have our third 3. And then MK is giving it a 9, saying it looks like a horror movie cover showing she has a split personality or something.
That's what I got.
Probably what they were trying to go for. So we definitely have a wide spread here on this cover. Let's see what we get. 7, 10, 14, 16, 18, 20. Wow, we're back up to 22 votes. Thank you.
Well,
Thank
the
you,
only,
folks.
by the way, we got to blame the dragon because it's his fault that James Wolf is here. So here's what I'll say. Make sure that you're scoring these because you believe that's your score. Don't react to other people. We accept all opinions, but make sure they're your own and you're not being contrarian. So if like a book is there and everybody's saying 10s and you're like, that's not a fucking 10, it's a 1. Obviously, you're a fucking contrarian. We're not going to be listening to you. I'm not aiming this directly. I'm just explaining the rules because you've been given a lot of low scores. So I just want to make sure we go on in there. And also reverse. If people are giving a low score and oh, fuck you. Yeah, it's a 2. No, I'm giving it a 10 because of. Make sure everybody's opinions count. So make sure you're doing your opinion and not reacting to others. There you go. Okay, that's my welcome, and those are the rules. Also, just to go over this, 1 is god awful, 2 is horrible, 3 is very bad, 4 is bad, 5 is it means it does not affect you whatsoever. 6 is average, 7 is good, 8 is very good, 9 is awesome, 10 is super awesome, and it's all on your opinion. But just like I said, make sure it's your opinion. Okay, there you go.
So, the scoring summary we have as follows. We've got 3 9s, we've got 4 4s, and we've got 3 5s, we've got 4 6s, we've got 2 7s, we have 2 8s, we have 2 9s, and we've got 2 10s.
I get it, James. I'm a consumer of food. I'm picky too as well. I'll never eat meatloaf or lasagna. Yeah.
Okay, so
And
where do you have this landing? Because I got it in
all
the
of that
sixes.
adds up to a solid 6.
I'm telling you, our math is the same. We're just doing it differently every time. Oh, and by the way, I do have to offer a rebuttal just in case he feels I was aiming at him. But there you go. I get it. I'm an artist. I'm picky. There you go.
Hey, Amy
Yo,
doesn't
what?
like zombie stuff. So
Oh my gosh,
I know.
I was actually talking to my daughter. I said, I would love to get you on here because you're an artist. We've got the Lester sisters. And I said, and you can score it however you want. There is a beautifully rendered dark Doctor Strange cover that Amy just goes, oh, this is a 1, because she didn't like the fact that he was a zombie. He was a skeleton. So yeah, okay, you score it the way you want, right? Okay, there you go. All right.
But I will also try to bow out of things where I know I'm like, yeah, I'll just.
You're going to be biased, so it might not be the most honest of opinions.
I don't. Like I said, a lot of these characters I don't have attachment to. Some of them I do, like, you know. But I like this. Like, this is Batman. I like Batman, but I do. You could put anybody else in there other than Batman. That Rain is awesome on this cover.
That's why I included. There are 2 detective covers that I was like neck and neck. Which one do I want to put up? One, Batman is on the roof. He's got a flashlight. You can see the city street below. And then this one. And the reason why I included this one is because I'm sorry I'm talking over these things when it's your turn. But the reason why I included this one is I thought this had the best Rain. So there you go. All right. Anyway,
whose turn is it?
Well, it's appropriate because we're back to the top of the order. So for your third at bat, VENKMAN, you get Detective Comics 587. Go.
Yeah, this really feels like you're in an urban setting. You know, Gotham and everything. The knocked over trash can, the rain there. And just the perspective is you're close to the ground, and just the rain's just running down that hill towards you. It's just great. The cape is kind of weird. I'm like Spawn-like a little bit.
yeah, I know that's a very Todd McFarlane-esque cape.
And that lightning bolt, holy crud! I don't think I've ever seen one like branch out like the tree of Nazgard. The tree of life.
But somebody, Jose, by the way, put it.
Yeah.
This is the great Norm Brayfogle.
Yeah, but
sorry.
dude. Like I said, that's still kind of menacing though. I gotta say, man, it's like I'm not a big fan of the blue on Batman and stuff with the bright thing. Cause like, because I'm like, where'd he go? Just look at the symbol.
No, I dig it because it tells somebody that they're about to get fucked up.
Like
that Batman's coming for you, and he's about.
If you
to
did not
whip
see
your
the
ass.
symbol there, you would know it's still Batman.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm giving this for the elements alone. I'm giving this a solid 9.
Okay. England team.
Well, I've been talking a little bit already. Like I said, as far as rain on the covers, aside from the spirit, this may be the best rain. The rain effects on the ground. Look at the shadow of the bat and how the water is just kind of warping it. There's so much really cool detail beyond like the bottle and the garbage can and the fence and the ladders and so forth. It's just, once again, the sheen on the ground. This is a lived-in city. This is a city that has been hit hard, not to the point of flooding, but this is a rain that's been going on for a while. It is weird though that the Batman's cape isn't going back, but it's going away from the building. So it would make, if you live in Florida, you know how wind can work. And this, by the way, tells you that the wind is not actually blowing this way. It should be blowing this way. So in that case, the rain is coming in on the wrong side. In Florida, Amy and Melissa could tell if you have a little nook, you're standing on it, you can actually feel the wind swirling when you step onto your porch during a hurricane, because it's hitting the wall and it's kind of diverting itself. So really the rain should be falling towards the building with the wind blowing, and that's what's moving his cape. Just saying, this is still a 10.
A 10 from England team. Melissa, what's your score?
I think I'm going to give it a 9. It doesn't have quite the same impact on me as the Spirit cover did, but wow, I just enjoy looking at the puddles, and that garbage can is very well rendered. The environments are terrific. It's definitely well into awesome for me. 9.
Amy.
Did I hear Amy?
Yep.
Okay, good. I didn't want to go over anybody. Yeah, this is cool.
Amy.
Oh no! This cape is kind of doing something insane, but I can't say I don't like it. That's really cool, and I love. This is probably the best interpretation I've seen of squiggle shadows, because I remember reading some like Captain America things, and they would do that, and you're like, whoa! But this is like squiggle shadows done really well. I like that they kind of worked that out. I love the hatching on it, the way that's brought together. It's cool. They did the little, I guess the ripples where the rain's hitting and it kind of like echoes out. That's on a plane and it kind of sets the background going backwards. I like the way they, in the dark shadows, they went with white lines to kind of bring it together. Just to point out what I like about it, to explain why I'm giving it a 10.
Oh, you said dark shadows.
Amy. All right. Eric.
I disagree with you on one thing. I think the Rain and the Spirit was a little bit better than this. And
yeah, I would say it was better, but I don't remember it having squiggly cast shadows.
And the rains down in Africa were so awesome. People bless.
Yeah, you got to bless those rains in Africa.
You do.
Those are great rains.
or just leave the stream. Your call.
No, I think the shadow was a little better. Was it shadow? No, the what was
Spirit.
Spirit. It was better, I don't doubt, but I do love the squiggle shadows. That's really cool.
Squiggles.
Watch it squiggle.
And with all that,
10.
Eric, you have a score for us.
10.
A 10 from Eric.
Welcome back, Ian.
All right.
10.
So Eric scored it a 10.
What did Amy score?
A 10.
All right.
So you should have 2 9s and 3 10s.
Okay.
And for me, I'll give it a 9.
All right.
And let's see from the chat. Let's see. Jose is 10s across the board here. And Baba Boom also scores at a 10. We get an 8 from Ethereal Dragon. Let's see. No, Daniel, we don't believe this is a JR cover. This is a Norm Brayfogle, but I'm sure that Eric could confirm that if JR has been doing basically the same Rain cover for the last several years. Steven Spock gives it a 9. And let's see, Daniel, the Batman cover is a 9. All right. Joe gives it an 8. And let's see. Crystal gives it a 9, says the city background needs a touch more. And BCR gives it an 8. And Jose saying he doesn't think it's Norm Brayfogle, but he might be wrong. Alpha Eagle gives it an 8. And Dark Admiral gives it a 7. And MK is saying the Rain is awesome here, but let's be honest, anything with Batman and Rain in Gotham just hits different. His cape looks menacing, almost like Spawn. As Vinky said, looks like good old New York City and gives it a thumbs up 10. Jackson comes in with a 6. And James here notes that it's nice. The shadows are the wind, but the cloak is a bit dumb. One Slick Dude comes in with an 8, saying as heavy as the rain is, Batman should be dripping with water. Oh, that's a good point. And let's see. Eric says Norm has done much better, but he will give it an 8.
Normally he would, but he has one of those raincoat suits.
And he's Batman.
Let's see. Maranya is saying great details of the rain and background. Bat should be larger to make it more heroic and impressive, even despite these flaws. It is a Bat 10. And going back and forth here. And James here gives it a 6. All right. So 5, 10, 15, 17, 18, 20, 22 again. So our totals across the board here, we've got 2 6s. We've got a 7. We've got 6 8s. 6 9. Oops. Crap. Let's see. So 2 6s, a 7, 6 8s, 6 9s, and 7 10s. And that is going to be an 8.7, the Richter scale. And so Detective Comics 587 is a 9.
Oh, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not yet voted on the poll for what next, please do. Even if you haven't been chiming in with votes, you're listening in. Hey, your show too. Let us know what we're supposed to talk about. This will be, I think, the last of season 5. What we're choosing right now. So by all means, right now we've got 30 votes. If we get 4 more voters, we've got a new record. Because I think actually if we get 6, we need 6 more voters to break the record of how many voters we've had doing this. So by all means.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, it's Detective Comics. Anyways. All right, moving on. We are on to the second to last cover of the night. This is Captain Marvel. Looks like issue 132.
Whoa.
And England team gets to start this one.
I gotta tell you, that is the best feeling. I don't care how these get voted on. It's but I love it when they get voted highly, because I try. Okay, was this interesting enough? It looks interesting to me. I'll throw it in. Maybe this will get conversation started. To hear Amy go, "Oh wow," that's actually my reaction when I saw this. I have all the Captain Marvels digitally. I've never looked at I've never seen this cover, and then when I did, it was like, God damn, that's a hero shot right there, man.
That is.
I mean, the rain is pounding, the flood's coming in. You've got people desperately trying to save, I'm assuming, their neighborhood, village, town, and Captain Marvel comes in and he's just holding things back, letting these people do the job that they need to do. I mean, this is true in heroism, not to mention the colors. The brown sandbag, the big red cheese himself stands out heroically, the blue on the water. And that just is so crisp up against the, like, almost the muted colors of the sandbag in the background, the gray sky and so forth. This is absolutely a 20, but we only go up to 10.
If only he could be like Superman and just dig a trench to divert the water.
Exactly, right? No, this is an awesome
And
cover.
from the England team, so Melissa.
Okay. Well, the first thing that came out of my mouth I saw was wow.
Mhm.
I really enjoy the kind of, you know, the sort of 50s style, like Adventures of Tintin style, like the supporting characters.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You kind of see where like Hayao Miyazaki and people got their inspiration.
Yeah, it is a little Ghibli.
So
Were these
and-
reprint covers?
Huh?
This time? Were these reprint covers of other ones before Fawcett? Like they had to cover Marvel Adventures. Obviously, if they continued into Fawcett, right? Or
No,
did
Fawcett was always Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
Sorry about that. Let's see. The way
I'm
the rain
learning.
illustrated, very well done. The water is, it looks like water to me, not like, glue or paint or anything. And the color, like the gray backdrop, it complements the fonts and everything. I think I'd give it a 10.
With 10 from Melissa. Amy.
Oh my gosh, I love this. It's so cold in so much of it because of what they're standing against. But like, even like, they use a lot of warm blushes on these, but it works really well here. It really does make it look like he's fighting against this thing that he's holding up. And the way he's come across it, it looks almost more desperate than heroic. Like Superman, you'd expect to come in and handle something, but I feel this is more like Billy actually going in there and like trying to help as best as he can and knows how, and not sure if he's doing the right thing. And maybe that's breeding a bit of what I know about the character into this, but I just love this. It's great. And you hope for these guys that everything's going to go well. This is absolutely a 10. I just love it.
Yeah, he doesn't have freeze breath. He can't just go fly over and just freeze it all.
No, he's like, he's helping the adults.
Eric.
10.
Yeah.
10 as well. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because it's not your typical wall. It's a wall of sandbags, and it's, he's fighting an element. It's not a bad guy per se. So, heroic in a different way. With all that said, I'm going to give it a 9. VENKMAN.
Sorry, I just distracted by Jackson's comment. Let him tell us that Billy's a Shazam light. He caused extra blood. This is a 10. I like this. The heroic thing. He's just doing because remember, he is like a 12-year-old boy, so he doesn't know any better. He's just kind of trying to hold it. He's probably, just like straining as much as he can. The water is still going to come over. And you're right. You bring up I think it was you or Melissa brought up how the fact that it just looks cold.
Yeah.
Those guys get rain jackets, and everybody who's ever been in the rain, and it's just like gloomy like this. It's not always a humid though. Like especially up here on the north part of the country, when we get rain up here, it's like 40 degrees weather.
Oh,
yeah, it's a cold rain.
Oh, and his hair looks wet too.
Yeah,
like you can tell.
So you can tell the look on his face. Everyone looks like they're freezing. At first I thought it was a random hat, then I realized there's a guy handing the page. So this is a 10, dude. I like this. This is cool.
The VENKMAN, I don't know if they still do it, but in these days, he had the wisdom of Solomon. So he was smart.
That is true.
Well, yeah.
He's so young.
Nowadays, he actually has more of the wisdom of Solomon, and it causes him to be more less forgiving. It's not balanced.
No.
But that's just
all right. Let's see what we get from the chat. So coming out of the gate, Steven Spock and BCR are both coming out with 10s. And we get an 8s from Jose and Joe. We get a 10 from MK. We get an 8 from Ethereal Dragon and a 10 from Vavavoom and Dark Admiral. Okay. And let's see. Jackson comes in with a 9. And Eric is saying it's a little stiff but normal for the era, but Captain Marvel looks like he is wet from the rain, so he'll give it a 9. And Alpha Eagle's a 9. You can feel the heroism coming off of Captain Marvel. Manny, Good Dog Press, gives it a 9. James Wolfe gives it a 6. And One Slick Dude is saying a 10. He likes the perspective, and Captain Marvel's wet hair is well rendered. And let's see. Well, Peter, hold on to that thought.
We have one cover left tonight.
And Crystal gives it a 10. And Steve Spock is noting Gordon of the Sea Lad add +2. Let's see here. Maranya is saying Captain Marvel's heroism is shown clearly. Colors used to highlight Marvel with muted sandbags that evokes the mood of the torrential rain. It's well rendered. Score it a big red cheese 10. All right. So 13, 18. Wow, we got 22 again.
22.
So again, thank you, folks. This has been a really popular one all night. We have been right around in the 20s on the votes from everybody here for almost every cover. So once again, thank you, and thank you for sticking out with us. As Team mentioned, we've got one cover left after this one.
Before you get to that, let's one more time. Don't forget to vote in the poll, even if you're just listening in. We appreciate it. We pick the titles. You guys pick which one of those you would like to listen to or watch, or however you're consuming here. Also, if you do like this, please consider joining us for our others. Tomorrow is going to be the Rocketeer. We're going to be taking Rocketeer covers from the very beginning, all except for one we've already used this month. That being said, it should still be awesome with some Dave Stephen covers, as well as Wednesday is Maranya's birthday, and for her, we're going to be doing Iron Man. Maranya, one more time, did you want to start at the very beginning, or do you want to start at Iron Man #1? I know you want to include the Submariner Iron Man, but there you go. That's going to be Wednesday, and that's the last episode this season. So Thursday is going to be the brackets, which is we put all the top, #1 covers against each other. See what is the best. Oh, okay, there you go. Sorry.
All right.
And Bad Comic Reviews has given great advice to everybody, where he says, give Englentine money at the Ko-Fi link in the description below. That is genius advice.
Or scroll up to the comment that should have been pinned about an hour ago.
I know. I'm horrible at that.
And I would definitely say, please do share it out. Trying to, build up the channel here and get it out to as many folks as possible. So the score breakdown here, we've got 1 6, we've got 3 8s, we've got 5 9s, and we've got 13 10s. So that is going to average out to, a 9.3 for Captain Marvel. So he couldn't quite crack the 10s.
What?
Oh, sure. Right? You can round that up.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Okay, this is another one where the math goes in the wrong direction.
9.3 for Captain Marvel.
Because I've got how many? What was the? What did you have? How many sixes?
Well,
how many?
You have 1 6, 3 8s, 5 9s, and 13 10s.
I got 6 9s. That wouldn't help the 10s, by the way. But 6, 9, 10. I've got 10 everything that's not a 9, and then I've got 13 10s. That's a 10. Because once you eliminate everything,
except that the 6 and those 8s are going to drag it off of the 10. So what can I say?
Can you put it up a little
no,
more?
because even if you include the empty one for the 7, it's a 10.
Well,
but you know what? You've been the host. We're going to follow what you're doing here tonight. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So final cover of the night. And as Peter mentioned, asking, hey, where's Web Spider-Man #32? Here it is. And to start us off on this last round, it's Melissa. So Melissa, Web Spider-Man 32, what do you think?
Okay, so we're talking like 80s at this point. It feels like from that era, the rain looks.
That's some really looming perspective, isn't it?
It is. We're
the way that
very foreboding.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so like I would say this is like one of my favorite. These are some of my favorite lightning bolts I've seen in the covers. Like
that is a cool approach.
Yeah, I got a lot of sometimes the lightning bolt. I would do lightning bolt. They tend to kind of do hard line art of, of the lightning bolts, and it just kind of doesn't quite feel right. So this it got that well. And it's a very well. I'll give it a 9.
So a 9 from Melissa. All right, Amy.
I mean, it's a little spoopy, but it's not horrible. And they really do some cool elements. The perspective with like, it's got a really good camera angle. It's kind of looking up the way the Spider-Man text, the font logo, Traitress.
trade, I think, is kind of looking down. It's really cool how that comes together to really put the viewer where they're supposed to be. I just as a composition, I think this works really well. The inking's nice. I like the water. I think it works well. I think we could give that. I could give that a 10.
A 10 from Amy. All right, Eric.
10.
A 10. All right. Oh, coming to me. Yeah, there's some really good elements in here. It just, I don't know. It's a 9 for me. I can't quite go the 10 route. VENKMAN.
That's okay.
All right. Here lies Spider-Man. Wow, that is really crowded on top there. Everything on there. Part 6, part 4 here, Resurrections. Like, it's just way too much up there needed for the trade stuff. Thank you, UPC, for blocking stuff. I always thought this was kind of weird. I know it's supposed to be. I thought this was during the Craven Last Hunt.
It is.
Yeah, around there. Yeah,
It is.
and it's supposed to be Peter coming out of the grave because he's buried alive, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So I always thought that design, I'm like, it's like, wow, his body proportion looks so weird. His shoulder, he looks like Metroid. With his shoulders like that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 6.
A 6. Wow. Okay. England team.
Right. I'm on the 10 train. Look, you got the only problem I have is very small nit to pick, and that's that it doesn't look like he's crawling out of the ground as much as he's molding with it. But I do think it's just a really cool image, and sometimes that's just enough. I also like the background with all the headstones and everything and the lightning. It works for me. I give it a 10. It's a classic cover.
All right. So a 10 from England team, and we go to the chat. Well, we start off with 7 10s from Jose, BCR, Dark Admiral, Ethereal Dragon, Steven Spock, Good Dog Press, and Crystal, who's digging it.
Hey, Crystal, have a good night. We do these pretty much every weekday night or every weeknights around 10:30 Eastern.
Every day but Saturday.
Yeah, and then Valavoom comes in with the 9. Alpha Eagle is a 10, saying it's the best of the night. We'll see. Joe, a 9, saying it's a classic. Eric Hawkins, Mike ZACK equals a 10 for him. Daniel, a 10 for the Spidey cover. MK, a 10, easy, crawling out of the grave, covers Batman, Spider-Man, whoever are great. So he is a big fan of crawling out of a grave. Daniel's noting if he could, he'd make it a 10 plus. Peter comes in with a 10 for Spidey 32. Maranya, Spidey rising from the grave on a rainy day. Monochromatic colors evoke the somber mood along with the rain effect. Striking rendering, score it a resurrection 10. And One Slick Dude 9. Again, the rain isn't splashing off the tombstones. It's just dripping. So that's his bugaboo. And Daniel noting he's got a t-shirt with this cover. And again, thanks for being here, Crystal. Hope you come back again real soon. Jackson comes in with an 8 for his final score of the night.
Well, he'd be even better. Instead of having it drip off the gravestone, have it drip off the logo on top.
Oh, that could be fun.
Because it's blocking the rain.
Yeah, it's kind of like an umbrella over the tombstone. It's not the Spider-Man isn't flat. It's kind of leaning forward.
Yeah.
So we finish off with the 5 of 23 votes for Web of Spidey 32, and it breaks down with 1-6 from RDV, and 8, 5 9s, and a whopping 16 10s.
Okay,
And
let's
that
not
is-
do crazy
no.
math. That's a 10.
Well, it comes out to a 9.5, so it is a 10.
I'm dropping my score down to a 2. That's good.
You could make 6 for making it close. So that
He said be honest, okay?
Hey, you gotta be. Yeah, I mean it's got to be your.
I didn't even look at the channel. I was like, oh crap! Everyone's
So we have a clear number 15, and that's the rain cover.
Yeah, clear number 15 at the 6s there with the rain cover. We've got 2 7s, so I'm just going to go around the horn. VENKMAN, your favorite 7?
All right. Favorite 7 for me is
Yeah, She-Hulk
New
or
York.
Amazing Spidey?
New York.
New York, okay. England team.
I agree. I like the
All right,
the
two.
New York sign.
Melissa.
My favorite, I think, would be the Spider-Man cover.
Okay, that's 3. Amy.
I'm fine with this.
Okay, and there goes the 7s. Eric. 8s. Favorite and worst, or least favorite 8.
Oh, my favorite is the Metal Man. My least favorite is Richie Rich.
Right. Yeah, in the 8s. I'll probably, honestly, I would say my favorite's probably Richie Rich. And my least favorite is the Metal Man. So I'll just keep it there right now. Venkman.
Well, actually, you should move the Richie Rich up one because nobody's even mentioned. Yeah.
I'm gonna say that my least favorite actually is the Creeper. So that's got 2 votes. My favorite, man, I love both Richie Rich and for different reasons.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stay with Metal Man as being my favorite.
All right. That's 2 votes for Metal Man. England team.
Dude. I'm fine the way it is. I think I think that's pretty. I said when we scored it, Metal Man's one of my favorite covers. It's so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Okay. Melissa.
Okay. My favorite's the Metal Man. I think my least favorite would be the Creeper.
Okay,
Thank
so
you,
that's
Eric.
4 for Metal Man, so that's got the best. Amy, out of Richie Rich and the Creeper, or which is your least favorite?
Of the 2, I guess my least favorite would be the Richie Rich.
Okay.
I still think the Creeper did
Yeah,
cooler stuff with
okay.
the water.
Okay, so yeah, it'll stay there because it did get a
fine.
vote for best. So, all right, on to the 9s. I'll start this out. I've got a bias. My favorite 9 is Firestorm. Sorry. Least favorite's going to be Donald Duck. Venkman.
You just say your least favorite is Donald Duck?
Yep.
It's a great cover, but on this,
Have no soul.
on this row, yeah.
Favorite for me is Captain Marvel. Least favorite is Firestorm.
Oh wait,
All right, England team.
Best is Captain Marvel. I agree with you on the Donald Duck.
Melissa.
Okay, my most favorite of the 9. Yeah, the Captain Marvel. My least favorite. Probably the Casper.
Casper, okay.
Cartoon hate here.
Yeah. So, Amy.
Love the Captain Marvel. That's my favorite. Boop, 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 boop. Jeez, I guess my least favorite would be either the Casper or Sin City. But I guess Sin City is a little more stylistically interesting, though I don't say that I particularly like it. I guess I'd say what?
Paper, rock, scissors.
I know, right? I guess I'll say Casper.
Casper.
Wow,
Okay,
I'm
so
shocked.
Casper and Donald have 2 votes each. Eric, your favorite and least favorite?
My favorite is the Batman. And my least favorite is something I will never say before, and I'll probably never say again. My least favorite is the Double D.
I've never said I hate double D's.
No.
I'm shocked that the
So
girls.
there you go. Okay, that'll change there. And then we have our 10. So, Eric, favorite,
Oh, hey,
least favorite?
LK, move Firestorm up one because it did get a best. So, yeah.
That's
There
true.
you go.
Favorite Spirit, least favorite Storm.
I'm going to go favorite is Spirit, least favorite is Spider-Man. Venkman.
I'm going wear it with you, brother.
Okay. Let's see. England team.
I'm going with Eric. I like the Spirit. The least favorite is Storm. That for
Okay,
as
so
iconic of
two and
the
two
as
here.
the Spider-Man is, that Spirit is so awesome.
Okay, well, Spirit's definitely gonna get the top spot. So Melissa, favorite and least favorite of the 10s.
Let's see. It's Spirit or favorite? I guess the least favorite would be Spider-Man.
Yes.
Got Amy.
Oh yeah. Between Storm and Spider-Man, I do like Storm a lot more. So
All right, there you go. So number
Jose
15
saying,
here.
"All is my heart." Favorite 10 is Storm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Favorite
so-
9, Batman. Yeah, there you go. And
Yeah.
Eric is saying that he's going to remind you guys to mention this show on your show. So.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
If only she'd chill out the
Appreciate
other
that.
channel she's always on.
Okay, so do the countdown. Let's get to the
Yeah.
There you go. Sorry about that. I'm interrupting. Yeah.
Yeah, so 15 is Rain. 14 is She-Hulk number 14 here with poor old Awesome Andy. At least he didn't finish last, so you know, not totally sad. 13 is Amazing Spider-Man. 12 is The Creeper. 11 is Super Richie. 10 is The Metalman. So now we're into the top 10. 9 is Donald Duck. 8 is Casper. 7 is Sin City. 6 is Firestorm. 5 is Batman. 4 is Captain Marvel. 3 is Web of Spider-Man number 32. Number 2 is X-Men number 290. And our favorite is the cover for the second trade paperback for The Spirit from
I want
DC
that
Comics.
Does anybody else find it interesting
By
that
Darwin Cook.
What we saying there?
Does anybody else find it interesting that Tonight of All Nights, the lowest ranked cover was a book called Rain?
I know, right?
No,
Kind of funny.
that is ironic.
But
Irony of it. So,
So-
this has been a great night and long night, folks. We appreciate you for hanging in there with us.
oh my gosh,
final
that's almost
question.
3 hours long.
Yep.
All right, well, let's just get to the poll real quick here, and we can move on here. Yeah, once again, thank you very much for hanging out with us, and thank you to LK for taking over when I couldn't. Well, obviously, I've been dropping way too much.
Wait, 3 hours tour?
I
Which
know,
one
it's
of you was a
great-
skipper? You were Eric.
Well, tonight it's LK. All righty, so we had 34 votes. We almost had a tie for our highest, but thank you to everybody who participated. Ice and Snow got 8%. Silver Surfer and Spirit tied at 29%. It looks like we're going to look at some no hero covers, meaning the covers that do not have the star of the show on them.
It's just
It
so
doesn't.
weird.
It might have a hero, but if it says
Right.
Captain Marvel and on the front you're seeing Spider-Man, that can't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Check Fantastic Four, lot to choose from.
All right.
That's the truth.
Oh,
Will do.
another you could do be villain covers.
All right.
That'll be for another poll.
The way I would do that though is let's pick the villains like Joker, Doctor Doom, Hobgoblin, or whatever you want. You know, in that way, because villain covers, that's a big freaking net to
Well,
cast.
how many superhero books only had the villain on the cover?
And are we going to put the Killing Joke in there again?
No. I don't want to. I don't want to
Mhm.
rehash.
That joke was killed a
Definitely,
long time ago.
definitely, I want to separate. So, like, if we use one in season 1, okay, maybe we could bring it back in season 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so MK, I have absolutely no thoughts on DC Absolute Universe, mainly because I don't look forward to new books anymore. They come out. If I read them, they're either good or bad, but I don't get excited, or I'm assuming everything that comes out of DC is going to be bad.
The only thing I'm looking forward to DC is Torun Grunbeck taking over Catwoman and restoring it back to its former glory. It's T.D. Howard who's ruined that book. Dude, Torun
Yeah,
Grunbeck
well-
has been a decent writer, dude.
Yeah, theoretically, it can't get worse.
If they wanted Catwoman to really thrive, they either bring Joel Jones back or rehire Blake Norcutt to do more than 2 issues.
Heck, just put
Both
Ram
of
D
them
back
are
in the
better
book.
than Torn and Grunbeck.
Yeah, although I am looking forward to reading her Barbarella, so I'm definitely going to give that a shot.
Who's doing that?
Blake Northcutt is doing a new Barbarella series from Dynamite.
So maybe we'll get one that's not woke like every other one that's been done.
There's a good chance for it.
Well, the last one was just basically the smut.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, and there it goes again.
boy,
And he's gone.
He's
So-
a
I think
man.
that
of
might
courage.
be a sign. So, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Once again, thank you everybody for hanging out with us for almost 3 hours. We really appreciate it. So once again, tell your friends, share out that link. Please hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so you made aware every time that we go live.
And if you want to hear more about new comic books coming out of the week, check out the Geeky Puppet Show, where Eric, Breen, and I will be discussing them on Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern.
That's right. And of course, again, too, as Englandine said, pretty much every night except Saturday, you can find us here on I Love Comics doing comic book cover ranking streams here, usually starting around 10:30. 10:35 Eastern. That'll be 9:30 in the Central and 7:30 out West. And we'll be doing again, I think, as he said, there'll be another one tomorrow. And then, of course, on Saturdays is the budget auction. That usually kicks off around 8 o'clock Eastern. Usually have a pretty good time. We have a good selection of budget price comic books for you to take a look at and try to purchase. So it's a good time. So we hope you were able to join us then as well. So once again, thank you, panel. You guys did a great job as always and really appreciate it. Great insights on those covers. So for everybody here on the panel, this is LK. We're going to sign off tonight. Thank you again for joining us, and we will see you again real soon. Oh, team just popped back in. We were just wrapping up. I was just saying a goodbye. Do you have any last words?
No, we already covered it. Please, join us every night except for Saturday at 10:30. That kind of thing.
What are your last words?
And tomorrow is Rocketeer.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Nice.
Rocketeer tomorrow, and then of course the big Iron Man ranking on Wednesday.
Yes.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, kids.
Bye.
Later.